Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create that separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for steady. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Say break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Mission new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is stiffing and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is stiffing and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Yeah, feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create that separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Dude Show with the boss, man. As you guys can see, first of all, hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend, right? For sure. It's Friday night. Y'all know what it is. As you guys can see, it's just me. It's just me tonight, man. Boss is currently at the Nuggets Thunder game. And I am looking forward to hearing her feedback on that game because I think that's going to be a matchup that we've seen in the playoffs for sure. But Boss held it down, guys. Last game, I was at the game Wednesday, and tonight it was her turn to hit the game. So shout out to her for sure. See you guys in the chat, man, for sure. I'm going to get to as many comments as I can. Me and Boss kind of man it together usually with the two of us, but with me, won't be able to get to as many. So, guys, you guys know the drill. If I miss your comment, repost, caps lock, super chat, whatever you got to do to get my attention, go ahead and do that for sure, man. But I see you guys in the chat. Let me hit a few of these real quick. Let's see. Sizzling. Yeah, I see you. I see y'all, man. Let's see, 59, yes, sir. Once we completely shut them down the fourth, all the posturing died down. That is a fact. We are going to get to that in full, bro, for sure. So, guys, before we get started, as you guys know, Boss and I, we were doing another fundraiser for this month, for the month of April. And I've shared with you guys in the past that both of my sons, Carson and Kai, 6 and 3 years old, they are both autistic. And so this month, guys, we are partnered with Autism in the D, a nonprofit that focuses on autism acceptance and inclusion and supports community events to bring more awareness and resources to the city of Detroit. So they're doing some great things, and we want to help out with that for sure. And as we've done in previous months, guys, we're going to be donating half of all super chats for this month to the Autism in the D Foundation, guys. So that's something that we are working on for sure. And guys, I will be at the annual Autism Walk this Sunday, April 12th from 12 to 3, hosted by Autism in the D as well. So if you guys want to come out and support, feel free to pull up. I'm going to be there with the fam. So let's go ahead and link up and meet each other face to face for sure, man. But we want to thank you guys for your support so far. You guys have been great. It means a lot to me personally. So thank you guys for sure. All right. Let's check some comments real quick. Let's see. Appreciate you, Doug. Doug says, nothing but love for you, Deuce. We have the 21st. Yes, sir. It's looking good, man. We are definitely going to keep that pick, it looks like, with a game or two remaining that we have the pick swap with the Timberwolves for sure. If it drops to 19 or rises to 19, if they lose too many games, they will retain the pick. But we're in good shape to keep that for sure. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate you, bro. Let's go to Damadavi, my dog. What's up, bro? Says, don't understand how Duncan got a T when Miller initiated everything. but I like how he didn't also back down for sure. Also, Charlotte set more moving screens than the Warriors. They only shoot threes, and despite all that, we still won. I totally agree. That was a weird play. I don't know how that happened. Like, how do you? It's so many times that the officiating has made mistakes, and you end up paying for it. Whether it's that play you mentioned, bro, whether it's somebody getting teed up because they missed a call and they review it and it actually was a foul. So like stuff like that can be annoying, but they're not perfect. But yeah, it was definitely interesting to see that for sure. And as far as the 3-ball goes, bro, we're gonna get to that in full as well. So hold your horses on that for sure. I'm gonna come back to you if you have more comments on that, but that's a great point we're gonna get to for sure. Appreciate you as always, bro. Alan Graham, what's up, bro? Says fourth quarter defense. Yes, sir. That is one of the highlights and main points I have for this game tonight, bro. Pistons played great defense down the stretch, and that was the key to this game for sure. So I appreciate you as always, man. What's up, Sella? Appreciate you, man. As always, says Detroit basketball. What's up? Says cheers to 59 wins and Pistons not falling for the bait. Yeah, I actually think that bait kind of backfired on the Hornets for sure in this game, just because of how it started and what happened before and after, as far as just the intensity. So, sometimes you poke the dog pound, mess around, find out. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, Sella, but we'll get to that for sure. But I appreciate you, Sella, as always, showing your support. Much, much appreciated. Love you guys, man. What's up, Devin? Super Morty, man. Hornets fake tough. Yeah, they had last game on their mind. You could tell for sure, man. They definitely had that on their mind. They were trying to make a point, but they missed the mark. We're going to get to that for sure. Of course, 313, I see you. All right, guys, let's get to tonight's game real quick, man. So, guys, in case you missed it, in case you missed this game, the Pistons, they picked up their second straight win, and they get it over the Charlotte Hornets on the road, and they beat the Hornets, guys, 118-100, sweeping the season series 3-0, and improving to 59-22 on the regular season, guys. 59-22 on the regular season is great stuff, man. And, guys, the last time the Pistons won 59 regular season games was back in, you probably guessed it, and you probably see the graphic there, 2008, which has been pretty much the benchmark for this season for all things pertaining to the last time the Pistons ... filled in the blank, right? And that's honestly just because that was also the last time the Pistons were in real championship contention. It was the final year of their run of 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals appearances. So yet another accomplishment for the Pistons and what has been an incredible season for them, man. Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to Coach Bickerstaff and his staff. Shout out to Trajan Langdon, who's done an incredible job. Shout out to all the guys, all the coaches, the training staff, everybody who's played a part in this historic turnaround the last 2 years, and even including this year specifically. Great stuff, man. So shout out to them. Guys, let's go ahead now and briefly take a look at the injury report. What do you know? Would you look at that, man? No injuries, guys, on the injury report. And that is such a beautiful thing. It's been a long time since I've seen a clean sheet like this. Maybe the first time all year I've seen it just completely clean where everybody's healthy. But like we said, this is why it's so beneficial to lock up first place with games remaining, because you can get guys rest. That's so important. Even Cade now looks to be, even though he's still shaking off a little rust, he looks to be healthy. Even though they have on a minute restriction, he still just looks to be healthy. So it's all about peaking at the right time. And part of peaking at the right time is being healthy or just being available. You see a lot of guys, a lot of teams right now who are kind of sputtering toward the finish line. We just heard about Joel Embiid. I think he's going to be out for 2 weeks. He had to have an emergency surgery. So things are not looking good for them. Like, I wasn't worried about them before because we just smacked them without Cade a few games ago. He didn't play, but we had guys out too. So now that Embiid is down, that's just an example of why you got to be peaking at the right time. And you got to make sure that you have your guys healthy as possible. And that's the Pistons. That's the situation right now. So it's a great sign for them just to have a fully healthy roster, and knock on wood, hopefully that continues for them. So guys, the Pistons, as far as who they went with tonight, starting 5 was the usual: Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and launch this poll now for who you guys think should get the belt in this game. And we'll come back and check on that in a few minutes. A lot of candidates. It was a few guys I was feeling bad about leaving off, just because there's so many guys that play well tonight. Aside from the numbers, just play very good basketball in this game. So you guys go ahead and have it that. If you have anybody else that you saw that you thought should be eligible or that deserved it, throw it up in the chat and we'll get to it if we can. All right. Okay, guys. Ron Curry, I'm screaming. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get to some initial thoughts. And before we even dive into that, before I give you my spiel on that, guys, let's take a look at, or take a listen rather, to what Coach Bickerstaff had to say about the Pistons' approach as the season winds down, as we get ready for the playoff push. Let's check it out.
We go out every night and try to play Pistons basketball. Like, we don't change based on the opponent. I think that's been part of the reason why we've been able to win the way we've won, is because of that consistency. If you get in that, emotional roller coaster about this team or that team, you never stay, where you should. You lose focus on who you are. And the best thing our group has done is remain, who we are and play Pistons basketball. We're trying to play our best basketball. I think it's one of those things where, you want to go into the postseason feeling confident, understanding, your objectives, what you're trying to get done, executing our defensive system, offensive system at a high level. If there are any things that we need to clean up versus different teams, being able to have it on film, prepare yourself for it. So the next steps is, next week to get better at it. We have plenty of practice time.
I love what he said there, man. Just play Pistons basketball. Just continue to do what you've done all year and try to be the best version of yourself at those things. Now it's not the time for the Pistons to be trying to incorporate a bunch of different stuff or run a bunch of different sets. No. This is the time to really just build on what you kind of established all year as far as how you want to play. And I feel like that's the key, because we're toward the end of the season now. It's time to gear up for the playoffs. It's time to make sure that you're playing as close to your style as you possibly can. So I loved what he had to say there for sure. As far as my thoughts, man, this is a fun game. It was a fun game. It was a very competitive game. The Hornets, obviously, they needed this game a lot more than the Pistons did for sure. The Pistons, they didn't need to win this game specifically. Like, we already know they clinched the top seed a week ago. But the Hornets, they came into this game in 9th place, and they are fighting for playoff positioning right now. They're trying to move up. I think they're in 9th right now in the East. They're trying to move up to 8th or 7th because they're trying to avoid having to win 2 straight games just to get in to the playoffs. So if they stay at 9 or 10, they'll have to win 2 straight, right? If they finish 7th or 8th, just 1 out of a possible 2. So I wasn't going to be surprised if they came out and treated this game like a playoff game, while the Pistons just focus on health, focus on identity. Not saying they don't play hard, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Hornets had a little bit more intensity and just a little bit more urgency, at least early in this game, just because they absolutely need it. So the question is, did they do that tonight? Did the Pistons play to their style, and did they get through this game healthy? Well, they did get through the game healthy. And now let's take some numbers to see if they played the way that we like to see them play. So points in the paint, right? Let's start there. 62-42 advantage for the Pistons. Great sign. That is who they are. They are a team that wants to dominate that painted area, so that's a good sign. Fast break points, 20-12. Not a ton, but still they didn't give up a ton, and they won that battle by 8, so that's solid. You take that. Rebounds, 48-41. Good sign. Free throws were even at 19. Both made 19. The Pistons shot more. They shot 26. The Hornets shot 23. So not much discrepancy there. I'm going to see them knock down a few more, but they didn't lose that battle. But both scored 19, so that's cool. Turnovers. The Pistons had 15 turnovers and the Hornets had 17. So 15 is not a great number, but once again, they didn't turn it over more than the Hornets, which is also a good sign. Points off turnovers, 22-18. Once again, not a huge margin, but once again, you didn't lose the battle. So the little things are starting to add up, as you guys can see here over this game. Here's a biggie. Assists, 29-16 advantage for the Pistons, 29-16. And part of that is how the Hornets play. They have a lot of guys who are really good one-on-one players who are trying to learn how to play systematic basketball. And you can see that. But guys like LaMelo Ball, who has been playing better basketball this year, better brand this year, but you still see him at times trying to play hero ball. And I think down the stretch of this game, that played a part. And that's a microcosm of why the Pistons won that battle, 29-16 for sure. So that's a great sign. 13 plus advantage for sure. And then stocks, 21-18. So once again, not a huge margin, but in a game, when you get to the playoffs and possessions mean a lot, those 3 or 4 possessions you create more than they do after turnovers or after steals or whatever, your defense can come in handy. So in most of the areas where the Pistons want to dominate or want to win, they did. They didn't lose. Out of all those numbers I just rattled off, they didn't lose any of those categories. That's the epitome of playing to who you are. That's exactly what they wanted to do, and they did it. So that's a good sign. Guys, the Hornets, let's look at something they like to do, right? They like to shoot the basketball. They like to get them up from three. They took 20 more threes, guys, than the Pistons. Let me say it again. The Hornets took 20 more threes than the Pistons did. They shot 47. The Pistons shot 27. But here's the key. The Hornets only made 4 more. They were 13 for 47, while the Pistons were 9 for 27. And we'll get to that in a minute because both teams, they did play to their style. But as you can see with these numbers, it didn't go the way they wanted. So, like I said, win or lose, these last 2 games, last 3 or 4 games since they clinched number 1, I just wanted to see the Pistons just play to their style. Play their brand of basketball. Play hard for 48, bring the physicality, play tough defense, look to turn as much of that defense into offense, into transition as you can. And then offensively, just move the ball, player movement, unselfishness in the half court. That's what you want to see. I thought early in this game, the Pistons were a little bit sluggish. They were a little slow out the gate, right? Honestly, for a second, because of how, explosive the Hornets are when they're on, honestly, early, I thought the game might get away early, or the Pistons might find themselves fighting from behind early because they just came out flat. They were sloppy with the ball, and they were giving up a lot of offensive boards. They just weren't defending that well. They weren't finishing possessions well either. Even though the Hornets shoot a lot of threes, long bounces at times, they weren't all that way. The Pistons just weren't really into it the way you would have wanted to see. They did pick it up, and it was funny because we mentioned it earlier. Bussell, I think, mentioned it, but we picked it up early in the first quarter, very early, because of some early shenanigans from Brandon Miller. And we'll get to that later, but that seemed to ignite the Pistons. And they picked it up on both ends with their play, largely in part, I think, because of that confrontation, because it was like, oh, okay, you want to try to muck the game up? You want to try to make your point? Okay. Now we're going to have to embarrass you in your home court. Sorry. Like we trying to chill and, just kind of play to our style and let the chips fall regardless win or lose. But now you're doing all that. Yeah, you got to pay for that. And that's kind of what happened in my eyes. The switch really got flipped after that. But I'm going to say this first about the Hornets, and I'll get to the Pistons. The Hornets, they're a very high-powered offensive team, like I mentioned, right? They shoot a ton of threes. They like to get out and run and score off of those. But they live and they die by the 3 ball. When they're on, they're a lot to deal with, right? A lot to deal with when they're knocking down shots. They can get away from you in a hurry and build a lead in a hurry and put the game away in a hurry if you're not careful. But here's the difference in my eyes between the Hornets and a team like the Pistons. The Pistons have the ability to be more consistent in the playoffs. And here's why. The Hornets, when they're on, they can run the scoreboard up quick. And they can run you out of the gym, like I mentioned, if you're not locked in defensively. But that's their identity, right? But the problem is that you're not going to shoot it well every night. You can't control the shooting sometimes. Sometimes shots are just not going to fall. I don't care how good you are. We saw the Warriors go through spurts. We saw the Rockets when they played the Warriors with KD there before when CP3 went down, right? In that final game, I think that season too, I think the Rockets actually took and made more threes than the Warriors that season. They were really good from 3. But in that final game 7, where they go like 0 for 30 or something crazy, 4 for 30 something crazy. They missed 29 straight threes, I think. The best shooting team in the league missed like 25, 30 straight threes. So that's what happens. You can't always control the shooting. And that's kind of the story for the Hornets. But the Pistons, on the other hand, their identity is based on things that they can control. Defensive effort, physicality. That's who the Pistons are. And those are things you can control. And you can control those things every single night. Yes, you got to score. You got to put up points, right? But the Pistons foundation is something you can consistently bring every night, regardless of, your shooting percentage. We've seen the Pistons win games ugly all year, when guys are missing shots. The Hornets, they have to shoot well in order to consistently win. They have to knock down shots. And that's the difference. That's why the Pistons have a great chance to have a great playoff run, a deep playoff run, because they can have consistent results, oftentimes despite not scoring a ton of points every night. And that's the key. And we saw it, guys. And we saw it manifest itself in that fourth quarter when both teams leaned into their respective styles, right? The Hornets, they relied on their shooting, and the Pistons, they relied on their defense. and the Pistons style prevailed. The Pistons style prevailed. The Pistons won this game in the fourth quarter with their defense. They held the Hornets to 10 fourth quarter points, guys. I'm going to say it again. They held the Hornets to 10 fourth quarter points. The game was pretty much tight all the way up until that point, too. That's what's crazy. But the Pistons, they pulled away just playing harder on that end, right? Forcing the Hornets into tough shots. If they allow them to get one off, right? And then finishing possessions by rebounding the ball and not allowing a ton of offensive rebounds. But the Hornets style, right? It was bothered by the Pistons style. And you saw them routinely missing shot after shot after shot, right? Something they can't, once again, always control. And that's exactly what I mean. Based on the two styles of play, the Pistons style is more consistent. And in the playoff series, you can't afford to have too many off shooting nights and try to win that series. But with the Pistons, they can have off shooting nights. What they can't afford to do is to slack off with their effort and their defense and their physicality. And if they do that every game, they give themselves a chance to win every single game. That's the point. That's why I think the Pistons are a better team, because their style of play dictates consistent results. And the Hornets at their peak may be, one of the best teams as far as what they do, but they just can't do it as consistently. So when you have to rely on that being your foundation, you got to just hope. You got to just hope that you're going to knock down shots. With the Pistons, they don't have to hope. They just got to go do it. As much as you want shots to go in, as you want to put the ball in the hoop, it's not always going to go in. But as much as you want to play hard and play defense and play physicality, you can do that every single. You don't have to hope for that. It's just going to happen if you want it to. That's the difference. That's the difference, man. So that's why we always say defense first. Always. So, guys, let's get to some comments if I can. Trying to get to as many as I can. Let's see what we can get here. That's nuts. Pistons defense and bench got to be fire starters. Exactly. Yep. 10 fourth quarter points. I was away. You pulled it out, bro, for sure. And you guys get it. I'm guessing the W's are because you guys agree, I'm guessing. What's up, Tony? First time I've seen you here, bro. Welcome. Fact is, their culture will be a plus when it comes to getting to the recipe on. Exactly. That's what it's about. It's about their culturistic style of play, bro. You get it. You guys get it, man. Detroit basketball. What's going on? What's going on, Pop? Yes, sir. Okay, guys, 61s will be worthless without showing 100%. 100%. That's why it's about peaking at the right time. If you get it, you get it. Right? If you get it, you get it. But you don't shoot for it as if that's your championship, because the Pistons have much bigger aspirations this year, right? You don't want to fizzle out too soon. Dom comes back and says, I like Brandon Miller a lot, but sometimes talking ish is a double-edged sword. If you may get your opponent fired up and locked in. Exactly. I never wanted to be a team if the three isn't falling, we don't have a chance. You get it, bro. That's exactly the point. That is exactly the point. That's why the Pistons are always in games. Like, how many times have the Pistons gotten blown out this year? Maybe one or two, right? Because if they play a certain way, they can stay in the game regardless of what is going on the offensive side of the court. They can just shut you down defensively. And the Hornets, like, not to be redundant, but they can't always rely on that consistency because their identity is shooting the basketball, which is what you can't control. So, Dom, you get it, bro. That's the key. That's the key, man. The Pistons' culture and their style of play is built for the playoffs. So you get it, man. You get it. All right, guys. Let's go to some box scores and take a look at this game a little bit more in depth and see what happened here. Fat Kism said, I want a super chat, but hey, bro, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it, bro. This is about talking about this game, right? It's all control what you can control. You know what I'm saying? Control what you can control. Don't even worry about it, bro. It's bigger than that. I think the Hornets will take that next step by trading away LaMelo, kind of like how Hawks traded away Trae Young. Okay, interesting. So let's talk about that really quick. We'll go to box scores. That's an interesting point. I don't know, and you guys let me know what you think. I don't know if that's quite the same, Phantom, because I think the Hawks, they want to play more defensive style of basketball. Like, I feel like in a lot of ways, the Hawks have upgraded from Trae Young and going to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's not a star, but they want to be a team that plays like the Pistons, that can turn you over. They have a lot of rangy defenders who can turn you over and get out. Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, they got a lot of guys who can defend. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he can defend. He's in the running with JD for most improved player. But their identity is more so defense. You know what I mean? So it's like I think moving off a guy like Trae actually helps them, because I feel like he also, a lot of time, he would compromise their defense. He would compromise guys like Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson to always have to help him defensively, and that kind of compromises you. You got a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he can hold his own. And now you got Jalen Johnson as your best player, arguably, right? But he plays defense too, so their team with Clint Capella, their team is more built for defense. I think with LaMelo and the Hornets, they want to play the way he plays as far as offensive first, right? I think that's the key. He's out of control sometimes, which they don't like, but his style of play, being able to knock down 3 balls, push the basketball, score in bunches, I feel like he fits that more as opposed to a Trey who kind of compromises what the Hawks want to do. I see your point in theory, though. I see your point in theory, but I'm not mad at that for sure. Dom comes back and says, hey, the streets in New York will be safer without LaMelo driving around. Bro, I don't know or North Carolina, my bad, will be safer. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, bro. Like, I don't know what in the world happened with him in that car crash. That was wild. I don't know. But either way, I do think he'll be there on that team. I think they're going to try to craft him more and more and just deal with the mistakes along the way. I think he fits what they're trying to do, though. So we'll see if it works out for him. But once again, that style of play, I don't know if it's going to hold up in the playoffs for them going forward, if that is what they continue to go with. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys, let's go to some box scores, man. And let's check on that poll first. Let's see who you guys thought should get the belt tonight. Ooh, it split pretty well down the middle, which is a great sign. We said it, a lot of candidates, right? Some guys even not even there that deserve to probably be there in the conversation. But guys, it is pretty much split down the middle. Ron Holland is the leader off the bench with 35%. Duncan Robinson is second with 34. Ausar Thompson is third with 17. And Jalen Duren is fourth with 13 now. I love how it's split down the middle because, like I always say, I never want to see it 100% to 0 for everybody else because that means that where was the help? Where was the help, right? When it's spread out like this and you play unpredictable basketball, everybody's sharing the basketball, everybody's sharing the wealth, the ball's moving, player movement, you don't know where it's coming from, which is exactly how the Pistons won when they were on their run in the early 2000s. It's exactly how they won. Same way the Pistons won the bad boys. Just sharing the wealth, defense first, sharing the wealth. You don't know where it's coming from. It could be Isaiah. It can be Joe D. It can be Bill Beer. It can be anybody. Mark Aguirre, Vinny Johnson. It could be Chauncey. It could be Rip. It could be Sheed. It could be Tayshaun. It could be Mike James. It could even be Ben Wallace sometimes. Or Corliss Williams. You just don't know. Lindsey Hunter, my dog. You just don't know where it's coming from. And that's what the Pistons more and more are looking like right now. That team where they start with the defense and offensively it can come from anywhere at any time. And that's hard to guard. So we'll see how it goes, man. We will see how it goes for sure. All right, guys, let's go to Cade. Let's go to some box scores and check out Cade's numbers in this game. In this game, guys, Cade Cunningham in the second game back finished with 14 points on 7 for 13 shooting overall. 3 ball was not working, 0 for 3. Misses only free throw, 0 for 1. 2 boards, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, decent ratio, a little better than 2-1. 1 steal and a block with 2 stocks in 28 minutes. So I think he's still on a minute restriction, which is fine. I don't think he'll play or he'll go full tilt the rest of the season. Obviously, he didn't last game. He did tonight. He probably won't for sure against the Pacers. No shade, but they probably won't need him. I wouldn't mind if they didn't play him at all or just play him 10 minutes and let him just sit. But yeah, 28 is cool. I think he played a little bit less than that last game, so they're probably ramping him a little bit more. I'm cool with that too. But like I said about Cade, like last game, tonight, I just want to see him just continue to get into a rhythm with these guys. Continue to shake their rust off, get your timing back, get your conditioning back, your wind back. That's it. That's it with Cade. Just make sure that he is as much in the rhythm with his guys. First of all, for himself with a shot, just get into his spots, and then the chemistry with his guys, the pick and roll, off ball movement, all these things. That's what you want to see from Cade. I thought he was solid tonight. I don't think he was great, but I thought he was solid. He made some nice plays as far as just getting downhill, finding cutters, when the Hornets came to double. And he was also able to just kind of get to the hoop and take what the defense was giving him. He had a nice lefty finish that probably should have been an and 1. But I liked how he was just making good decisions for the most part, reading the defense. He looked good. He was a little loose with the ball at times. He kind of had a couple bad passes, right? And getting the ball stripped from him here and there. But once again, it's not surprising though, right? Because he's been off for 2.5 weeks prior to the last game. So that's why these last few games for him are so important. It's to just get back into a rhythm. Cardio Cade is silly. That's funny. But yeah, that's the key. That's the key. You just want to see him slowly ramp back up mentally and physically into the guy we saw before he went down. We're going to get the best version of Cade going into the playoffs. And I think this injury if all goes well going forward, that it could be a blessing in disguise because he's going to be fresher now going into the playoffs. Those 2.5 weeks, he's going to be fresher. He's going to have fresher legs. He's going to be able to play deeper into games, be fresher late in games in the fourth quarters. When it's winning time, these last 2.5 weeks can really be a blessing in disguise for guys like Cade and for his teammates because they all had a chance to step up in his absence and not be so Cade reliant when he's on the court. I always say I hate seeing so many eyes on Cade, and this time off help guys like Ausar Thompson as far as ball handling, help guys like Daniss Jenkins as far as opportunity, help guys like Kevin Huerter just get more minutes because there's one less guy there, help guys like Jalen Duren with his leadership, just show that he can be a leader. So it just helped. It helped in both ways. It helped Cade as far as being able to be fresh. First of all, be healthy and take his time. But when he comes back like now, shake the rust off and have some fresh legs. And for the other guys, opportunity, step up. That could be very, very useful come playoff time when he is in foul trouble or if he is having an off game. They can rely and fall back on these 11 games Cade was off and be like, hey, I can do this. We can do this, y'all. We're good. So double-edged sword in a good way, I think for sure. So we'll leave it there as far as Cade. Guys, let's go ahead and keep pushing. Let me check to see if there's any more comments I want to get to. Just noticed Boss has to watch it. Yeah, she still went. I don't blame her. I think it's the last home game for the Nuggets for the playoffs. So she still wanted to go see. The OKC still a good team without their guys. We saw that when we played them, right? The first time when they held tough and they stayed attached until they lost ultimately to us. I think it was 124 to 116. So even without those guys, they can still compete. But yeah, I told her still go. Like, just go anyway. You know, you held the fort down last game. I got you tonight. Go ahead, do your thing. So that's where she's at for sure. He's got to catch up with his. Yeah, for sure. I agree. Exactly. Just his processing speed. That's what we mean by timing, right? As far as getting his timing back. So he'll be fine. These last few games for him are very, very good for sure. I think that's the key. Facts. I hope Cade's hand is good. What happened to his hand? I didn't see what happened to his hand. Y'all help me out. I know he's still shaking off rust, but I didn't like that he was just a little lackadaisical with his handle. Yes, exactly what I see. Yep, 100%, bro. Got to be more aware. Got to be more locked in, more urgency, not so loose with it. I agree. Ausar's defensive disruption is remarkable. He's a very unusual player defensively. Just period, he's unusual. He's different. He's different. Cade drew 4 defenders at one point and then found a cut. Yep, he did for sure. That's kind of what I'm saying. Just he's gonna be fine, guys. Like I'm more worried about. I'm not even worried, but I'm just like, just don't re-injure that. As far as him just getting back on the court and getting back into that rhythm, that's the last thing with him I'm probably worried about. I'm not worried about that at all with him. Fresh Cade, fresh Stu, and more confident DJ. Yes, you get an idiot overreaction. That is not an idiotic overreaction at all. That is a very proper and accurate reaction. Everyone healthy, available. I want to see Cade feed DJ. I want to see more Cade and DJ, period, bro. And that's something that Coach Bickerstaff said he might actually take a look at. We always talk about, I always say, I don't like Cade with a bunch of eyes on him defensively. 8 to 10 eyes defensively, 4 or 5 guys defensively, just watching and keying in on him the whole play from the top, right? That's not something I love to see. That's why I like seeing him more off ball, right? Just more unpredictability. But him with DJ, there's less attention on Cade because now people know DJ can actually hoop, right? He's not just a G leaguer who's just overachieving because of the opportunity. No, he's a very capable basketball player. There's a lot of guys who get opportunity when somebody goes down and they don't take advantage of it. Daniss Jenkins is not one of those guys. He just needed the opportunity. Now he's hooping, right? So much so I think his NBA 2K rating went up the most in his latest update from 77 to 82. He's now officially an 82 in 2K, and he probably should be higher than that. But, they're starting to see now how good of a player he is for sure. All right, guys, let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Let's go now to, clicked and agreed. Yeah, let's go now to Duncan Robinson, guys. Duncan Robinson in this game. Let's see what Dunk finished with. He had 19 points on 6 for 11 shooting overall, 3 of 7 from 3, 4 of 6 from the line, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and a steal in 26 minutes, man. Good work. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but guys, the little scuffle, if you want to call it that, took place between Brandon Miller and Duncan Robinson. The Pistons got into it with the Hornets early in this game, like I mentioned. This wasn't nearly as extreme as last time these two met, but it was still a little something in the beginning. So Brandon Miller, guys, if you didn't see it, on the break, he caught a LaMelo ball lob, and he hung on the rim. And when he came down, he saw Duncan right there underneath him. Because, guys usually when they go like this and they look down, they don't want to, come down on somebody's foot or just step on somebody. He did this and looked down and saw Duncan was there and then released and came down and put his elbow into Duncan, in his knee into Duncan's shoulder unnecessarily. That's what I mean when I say these guys remember last game. They were just doing stuff like that. And Duncan took exception. He pushed him off. I would love to see it too. In my mind, it kind of made up for his infamous viral moment last game when he walked away, when these two played, when he walked away from it, when that fight broke out. This kind of made up for it a little bit. But I love to see that fire. He basically pushed him off and said, "Hey, that's BS. Stop playing. Like, don't do that. That's Bush League stuff, bro. What are you doing?" We don't see that from him a lot, right? But when he's fiery, it seems to get him going. It seems to get him going, man. And I like it. Like, he responded well too. Not just talking, not just getting mad, but he responded well after that. Knocking down a 3-ball right after that, and the floater right after that. He had a 5-point flurry in like a minute. So I love to see that. But that's what I mean, guys. Like, as a whole, after that happened, the whole team kind of just took it up a notch. It seemed like the Pistons were like I said earlier, let's get through this game clean and let's continue to build good habits and play to who we are for 48, win or lose. After that happened, it was like, no, we're about to beat y'all now. Like, we about to give a little bit more just to make sure y'all don't get it twisted. Like, you guys are not better than us. Y'all not about to try to bully us or get an edge on us. Don't think just because if you win this game, you're going to have, an advantage going into the playoffs if we see y'all. Nah, we're going to beat y'all again and show y'all have no chance. That's kind of what it felt like. It felt like the Pistons got a little bit petty after that play, and I am not mad at it at all. I'm here for all of it because they started it. So sometimes you poke the dog pound, you're going to mess around and find out. And that's what happened in this game. When they did that, the Pistons responded in kind. If that doesn't happen, I don't know if the Pistons if they pick it up after that. Because like I said, before that play, they were kind of just kind of sluggish, just kind of going through the motions. They were competing, but it wasn't a sense of urgency. They were getting outplayed and out hustled by the Charlotte Hornets. And you saw it. You saw it with just the speed that they were playing with, the energy that they had, the physicality they had. They were just trying to get up early. And I think, Brandon Miller probably went over the top with that when he did that, and it cost him. But Duncan Robinson responded well. I like to see that from him. He had a huge 4-point play in the third quarter, which was big. He did a good job, I think, too, of just mixing it up offensively, right? Not just shooting the ball, but coming off curls, pin downs, right? And either rising up for the shot or putting the ball on the floor if they close out too hard and taking a floater or making a play for somebody else. So once again, he just continues to show that he can do a few different things outside of just shooting the ball. Early this year, though, we didn't see that. Early this year, if they were coming up, pushing up on him close, if they were, trailing and staying attached to him when he came off a curl, he was stuck with the ball. He was looking to pass it and he was holding it, and now the shot clock's dwindling. Bad shot, right? But now he's much more decisive off the catch, regardless of what they do, right? If they close too hard, he's immediately putting the ball on the floor and making a play, right? Get to the paint. And if they don't, if he's got space, he's just pulling. So either way, regardless of what they do, he's decisive with the basketball. And that's what's helping the Pistons offense as a whole to be able to get good shots in that situation. So I thought on both sides, he was really good. He competed defensively. I think he took the ball away from Concanipple in one play. Like, defensively, he's been competing. He has been competing, man. It's great to see from Duncan Robinson. I think, guys, if we're being real, from our expectation level that we had when he first got here, after losing B's, because I think Duncan Robinson now is second all time and made 3-pointers for the Pistons. I think he's at 216. So that's great. So we've had guys finish 1 and 2 in back-to-back seasons overall in 3-pointers made in the history. Shout out Trajan Langdon, cooking, right? Bees did it last year with 319, I think. Shattered the record. And here comes Duncan the following year in second place with 216. Just incredible with the game to go. Incredible stuff. So I think if we're being honest, it was a tough blow to lose Bees. And I don't think most of us, or I would say most of us, thought that Duncan Robinson would be a surefire shoe-in replacement as far as just all the things that Bees brought. But we were like, okay, maybe he can give us, a lot of that. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it, And I think based on the expectation level we had for him when he got here, he has at least matched that expectation or met the expectation. I think, honestly, for being real, he has exceeded expectations because of what he can do putting the ball on the floor, creating for others, things that I didn't expect to see from him. I thought Caris was going to be a bigger addition than him. I thought Duncan was a guy, off-ball mover who can shoot the basketball. But for him now being able to put the ball on the floor, make plays for others, and compete defensively, something we really didn't see in Miami with Heat culture, yeah, I think for sure he has definitely exceeded expectations for what we thought we were getting when he got here. So once again, Trajan Langdon for the second straight year, bringing in guys who were doing more than we thought. From Tobias Harris to Tim Hardaway Jr. to Malik Beasley, all these guys, and now Duncan Robinson, right? So he's done a really good job as far as just finding guys who fit the Pistons system, even when he's got to go in a different direction, as we understand that. So let's check some quick comments. Duncan is better at making contested threes, and I'm for sure. I think a lot of that is just his height. Like he's 6'7". Like Bees is 6'4", THJ is 6'4", 6'5". He's 6'7". So he's got a lot of length to him, and it's hard to really get to his shot, even when it is contested, for sure. Definitely agree. Let's see. I knew it was going to be a signing day one. Okay, Craig, I see you. Duncan is dynamic. The floater is a good counter to getting run. Exactly. You get it, Abraham, for sure. He ain't Bees, but he's been good. Perfectly said. And I don't think we should even have expected that, but it's like, can he do a lot of that? And he has. I know. I agree, Clifton. It's crazy. Let's see. Dunk brings maturity. Yes, he brings maturity too. Because he's been to the finals before. He's been to 2 finals with the Miami Heat, right? He lost in the bubble to LeBron in 2020, right? I think 5 games. And then he lost, 5 or 6. I think maybe it was 6. I think it was 5. And then he lost to the Nuggets in 23, Boston's Nuggets in 2023 in 6. I think that one was 6. So he's been there before. He hasn't won, but he's been in deep playoff runs. And I think that's important for just helping a lot of guys on his team, like Cade and JD, the core, a lot of these core guys, Cade, JD, Ausar, guys who haven't really been in deep playoff runs yet. Daniss hasn't been in deep playoff runs yet. He can kind of help prepare these guys for what to expect. Ron hasn't been there yet. Stu, he can help prepare these guys for what to expect round to round. What are the differences between round 1 and round 2? How is the game called from round 1 to round 2? All these things are important. How do certain guys on teams perform from round? It's just a lot of things that he can just share with them that otherwise they wouldn't get because they haven't been past round 1 yet. So I think that's just important to have a guy like him. As far as like Devon is saying, just maturity and experience. That stuff is important, man. Duncan shooting with less space now. Was more gun shy. Exactly. I think that's just reps, though. He's understanding now what he can and can't get away with. He's understanding how much of a green light he has because he is one of our only snipers on this team. And they're like, hey, we need you to shoot the ball, bro. Every shot may not be a perfect shot, but it's still probably a better shot than some of our guys because you're just so good of a shooter. So shoot it, I think he's doing a good job of that, just being more aggressive. I might be in the extreme minority, but I think Duncan is better than. Wow. Interesting, guys. Let me know what you think about this take. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I think the Pistons needed Beasley scoring last year. I think he was the second leading scorer last year with 14 points. I do think is Duncan a better defender than Malik Beasley? That's a great question. He's not more athletic. He can't move as well laterally, but I think he may be a little bit of a smarter defender as far as just knowing the nuts and bolts of how to play defense, how to play team defense. Beasley's much more of an athlete. No question about it. He can get off the floor for a guy who's known to be a shooter. He's an athletic player. But Beasley's got a little bit more IQ, I think, defensively. And I think he's he's obviously a lot longer. He's 6'7" compared to Beasley being 6'4", right? So you can't teach that size. So you're losing things and you're gaining things on both sides of the ball. I think it's close, Mike. I think that's a great question. That's a great comment, though. That's a great comment. Let me know what you guys think. Cliff says, nah. He says it's close. Duncan's better defensively, I'd say. Yes. Imagine having both of those guys. It's crazy. Like how we have. Never mind. Hopefully, Beast can at some point come back. It'd be nice to have him back for sure in this team. I know he's not here now. I'm not going to fret on that. I think it's BS, to be honest. Hopefully, he gets a chance in the league first, period. Just, as a human, as a player, just gets a chance to play again, first of all, right? But if opportunity's there, we'll see. But it's a good conversation, I think, to have, for sure. A few more comments. Duncan obviously meshes better with us because we winning. Yeah, you got to buy in. That's the thing I was saying about a lot of guys. Like, if you are asked to play a specific role, it may not be how you're used to playing, but if it's working and we're winning at to the beat of 60 almost wins, if you don't buy in, you look like you're being a selfish player. You look like you're not a team player, and you were brought here in part to be a team player as a veteran. So if you don't buy in, something wrong. So I think that's a very good comment, Scooby, for sure. The height and wingspan matters for us. All right, you guys get it, man. You guys get it. Duncan's more versatile on the floor. Yeah. Okay. I see it. Let it have a shimmy back. Hey, you know what it is, bro. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. But Duncan has been really good as of late. I think he's going to be really important come playoff time. Shout out to him, man. Guys, let's go now to Ausar Thompson, backbone of the defense, Thompson, guys. I think tonight was another reason of why I call him those two things, backbone of the defense and a Tasmanian terror, as he has been, man, for sure. He was in full effect in this game, man. Tonight, guys, he finished with 12 points on 5 for 8 shooting overall, 2 of 3 from the line, 5 boards, 6 assists, 3 turnovers for a solid 2-to-1 ratio. I'll take that. Three steals and a block for 4 stocks, right there at his average. I think he's averaging 3.9, which is second behind Wemby. Yeah, he's right there. His mark at 4 again in 25 minutes. 25 minutes, man. That's crazy. There was a sequence, guys, in the third quarter where off the Hornets rebound, he deflected the outlet pass and saved it out of bounds, grabbed it and saved it to Cade for a layup, which was insane. Just hustle play, just a great anticipation of the pass coming and being able to get a hand on it. He's got really great reflexes. His hand-eye coordination is crazy. It's crazy, man. That was a great play. Just a swipe, catch it, tap it, catch it, pass the Cade, ridiculous. And he followed that up with, on the Hornets inbound, another steal on the inbound that led to a Duncan Robinson getting free throws. In a span of 5 seconds, he made huge plays that led to points on both plays. Not a lot of guys in the league who can do what he does, man. There may be one other guy, and he may play in Houston, his twin brother. That may be the only 2 guys who can do the things that they do at the rate that they do it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Who gets double steals, bro? Who does that? Stop sign all day long. Ausar, most steals in the season by a Piston since Ben Wallace. I did not realize that, Cam. Thank you for that. That is a great stat. That's probably something Boss would have had if she was here. She's a stat baby over here for sure. Let's say, yeah, they were calling him. Yeah, I think that's a great Kelso thing, right? The stop sign. Yeah, straight dog. That was a beautiful play. Just a beautiful sequence. Those are the kind of things that can swing the pendulum in your direction. If you're stuck in the mode offensively, you can't score, having a hard time shooting, those kind of plays, those heads-up plays, things you can't really game plan for, can be the key to giving you some momentum for sure. Duncan has a playoff experience, though. B's went cold in playoffs. Okay, we'll come back to him later. Ausar is unique. Yes, he is. Honestly, I think Ausar is one that, bro, we're on the same page. Same page. I promise y'all I'm not reading y'all comments ahead of time, bro. I'm just seeing what I'm responding to what you guys are saying. But Heisenberg, I totally agree. Momentum shifters, bro. That's what he does. That's what he has done all year, for sure. Imagine those turnovers and waves, and then Beasley. Okay. We backtracking, y'all. Focus. Come on. The stop sign word number 9. I like that. Stop sign word number 9. That's a bar. Tip the cap. Oh, Heisenberg said that. I like that. Okay, Heisenberg. I see you, bro. I see you, man. There you go, Rap. There you go. I got you, bro. All right. For me, guys, he was great. He was great, man. I like how he's getting to his midi game too, offensively. He's getting more and more comfortable because he's not comfortable shooting the 3-ball, right? We know he's not comfortable shooting the 3, especially that corner 3. He just doesn't want to shoot it. I'm okay with it as long, because the thing is, here's what's interesting with him, with the 3-ball and not taking it and putting the ball on the floor. Because with a lot of, like, compare him to a guy like Duncan Robinson, right? A guy like Duncan Robinson is going to have shooters closing out on him if he's wide open because of how good of a shooter he is. More times than not, he is able, when they do that, to get by his guy. He's just not the most athletic guy off his first step. He's not a quick twitch guy. So sometimes if they don't close hard, he tries to put the ball on the floor. He can't really get his guy on his hip like he wants to. But because he's such a good shooter, they close so hard that despite him not being a superior athlete, he can still kind of get by him because they're just moving too fast. Asar's the opposite. When Asar's in that corner, guys aren't closing out to him. But he's so athletic that if they close out just a little bit, he's still going to get by him. It's the opposite, the polar opposite of Duncan Robinson. It's just so funny to watch it. But he's doing a good job, even when they do close a little bit and put a hand up. Just putting the ball on the floor, not holding it, immediately just putting it to the floor and getting to a spot and knocking the shot down. Do a little 5 to 10 foot midi. I love it, right? And he's looking more and more comfortable doing that. It's very important for him to at least be able to give us something offensively, have something in your back pocket that you can go to that you know you're comfortable with. We saw a lot of time earlier in the season when the ball would swing back to him, with 6 seconds left on the clock, he would kind of just try to go one-on-one. And he'd try to do a swing through and he'd lose the ball or take a bad shot, bad possession. Not enough decisiveness. But now when he's catching it, he's not doing that. He's either shooting it, a lot like we said with guys like Duncan Robinson. He's either shooting it or he's moving off it or he's driving it. He's not just sitting there holding it. So either way, I like that he's finding something that he's comfortable with, that he can go with. I mean, he ain't got a bag offensively, anything like that. Building blocks. This looks like the first building block for him offensively that we've really seen, is just consistently getting to the midi. He did it a little bit last year too, but for some reason he kind of went away from it this year. I don't know if it's because they were focusing on the 3-ball and getting better. Maybe they were like, okay, it's not really coming along yet. Let's go back to what was working before as we continue to work on it. So get back to the midi. If the 3 ain't there, get to the midi. We'll start there and build out. So it seems to me like that's what's happening. Let's just focus on doing what we do best instead of trying to add stuff to our game late in the season. We're at the playoffs now. We got to go with what has worked. Right. So I think for him, he's just going with what works. And I like it. Yeah, I think that's all I got for him. And he had a nice block on Sion James at the rim they had to overturn, which is crazy. It seems like what's a game now? We got to overturn the call because they missed it. But anyway, great block. Went up straight vertical, no body contact, got a fingertip on the ball. They reversed it. Big play, man. He's a big game player on that end of the floor. Let's check some comments, man. See what you guys think. Felt like Charlotte lost their will after he made those back-to-back plays. Interesting. He's so cerebral. I don't know if people appreciate him and how he plays. Yeah, it's easy to, like, you think about the Golden State Warriors, for example. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter ever created that we've ever seen. I can imagine, I've talked to some Golden State Warriors fans who have told me that a lot of their fan base has just gotten used to every time he shoots the ball, they expect it to go in every single time, and they're mad when it doesn't, right? I kind of felt that a little bit watching them in the Olympics. Every time he shot the ball, I was like, that's good. Hope he goes in. That's good. And when he wouldn't, it's like, he missed. But they kind of got used to him doing that because he's done it for so long at such a high level. Even despite the level he's doing it at, they just got used to it. I don't want people to do that with Ausar Thompson defensively, because what he does on that end, even though he does it consistently, is not normal. And it's the best in the league at what he does on the perimeter. So we can't take it for granted because he's become that guy defensively. So great comment from Rapper Sure. Savant is a very appropriate word for Ausar on defense. I agree. I would love to see Ausar post up guys like Brunson and Pritchard so they have to work on both ends of the floor. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, just make him work a little bit. Just take away a little bit of their gas tank. Just a little bit. Make him think twice. Lonzo was not trying to go at Ausar. They were LaMelo was not trying to go at Ausar. They were getting the switch every time. Yeah, they know, guys. They do that a lot. They don't like him on them. We got a few guys like that too. That's why I like seeing Ron and Ausar on the court together. Sometimes it's like you really got to try to run a few picks, just to find the switch you want. Because with those two, to go from Ausar to Ron, good luck. Ausar needs some Legos. It's going to take a lot of work to get that. Yeah, it's coming along slower than we thought. It's not linear for every player. Looks like Ron is progressing a little bit quicker than Ausar, and that's okay. Yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit more time, Torch Lord, for sure. The Hornets played as hard as they could, and they still lost by 20 at home in a game that they needed more than we did, Chris. That says a lot. About where we are and where they're trying to get to. One game at a time, just like the 04 squad. Hey, bro. Remember those X's they still always do after every game? I hope that comes back this year for sure. The Hornets played well tonight against the Pistons, but the problem with them is that they lack an identity of their own, which is why they lost. They have an identity, Lionheart. It just doesn't work for them against us. Because once again, I said at the top of the show, their identity is knocking down shots, getting up a ton of threes, 47 tonight, and hoping they go in. When they go 25, 30 for 47, they probably going to win that game, right? Because they can just outscore you. They got more firepower than most teams. But when they don't, when they go 13 for 27 or 47, like they did tonight, they're probably going to lose. So their identity doesn't allow for them to play consistently because they have to rely on those shots falling, as opposed to the Pistons. Their identity is something they can control. Defense, effort, physicality. They can control that every game. And that's why I think the Pistons will beat them in a series, is because when you only got 7 shots at it, if you have 1 or 2 games where you don't shoot the ball well, you could be getting swept or close to it. So I think they have an identity, Lionheart. It's just that their identity is not one that I think predicates winning basketball in the playoffs. So let's see what else we got. 9 to 5 don't quit for sure. Love to see the Australian on the best player. Hornets ain't got nothing for the Pistons. When the worst matchup they could find on the pick was switch off of Huerter to Miles, couldn't attack it. I knew they were, exactly. And that's a great sign too for Huerter, because Huerter is showing too now that he's not somebody you can pick on either. I've said before in the times, like with Duncan, sometimes they try to hunt that out. We saw the Bostons of the world when they get JT or JB, rather Jalen Brown. He's always looking for that switch. I saw it last game when they played these same Hornets. Late down the stretch, JB, Jalen Brown, hunting out Nipple over and over and over again, right? That was part of the reason I was saying, let's take a look at Kevin Huerter as a starter. Because defensively, you can't hunt him out. Who can you hunt out in that starting lineup? If you got Cade and Huerter and Ausar, Tobias, and JD, can't really hunt out anybody, you know? So I agree. But when you got those guys in the court together, they're really hard to score on. So I thought that was a good sign for Huerter and for the rest of this team for sure. Pistons guarded the line for sure. Ausar's mid-range and his ability to create for others makes up for the lack. Exactly. Yeah, he's giving us enough defensively where I don't even care. Well, I won't say I don't care. He's got to give us, I want to see him give us 10. Me and Boss always say, give us 10 points, bro. Just give us 10 points. And tonight he gave us 12 on efficient 5 for 8 with a few free throws, 2 or 3. I'm taking that. 6 assists, 2. Those are points, right? Only 3 turnovers. That's a good ratio for a guy who's at a point guard. 3 steals and 4, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. Because when he forces the opponent into bad shooting nights, Brandon Miller was 9 for 20. LaMelo Ball, 7 for 20. Knuppel was 4 for 12. A lot of that is Ausar Thompson. It's Ausar, it's Cade at times, it's a lot of Ron, it's Javonte, but it's primarily Ausar doing a lot of that. So when he's forcing the opposition into bad shooting nights, like he forced Luka when Cade wasn't here into a terrible shooting night, I think it was like 10 for 28, 11 for 28. That's points. Like he's scoring for you by making sure they don't score. Their best guy doesn't score, taking a ton of bad shots. So if he's able to give me 10 off the offensive end and do what he does defensively, I'm taking that every single time. I am. He's that good defensively. And that's what I mean by I don't want us to take it for granted. People think Charlotte is hanging with us for 4 games. No way. 7 games. 7, but it's not going 7. I think we beat them in 6 at most. I'm going to give them a game. They probably win a home game. They probably 4-1, 4-2 at most, I think Charlotte will give us. Because I think a few of those games, they do knock down shots. And they are able to just outlast us just a little bit. Because those games in particular, they shot the way they needed to in order to be able to beat us. But the other games, when they're average or below average like tonight, they ain't got a shot. They ain't got a shot. Let's see. 1 more. 2 more. That's why I say we need to play our players, because we wore them out by the 4th quarter. They ran completely out of gas and could only score 10 exactly in the 4th quarter. That's exactly right, Chris. What's crazy is Ausar is on ball. Havoc. Yes. Ausar off ball, weak side, danger. Either way you lose. Exactly, Kingmaker. 9 to 5 on the same floor. Just give us the ball. Here you go. You know, it's going to be a steal either way. It's going to be a terrible shot either way. It's going to be a clanker. Here. You want to switch? Fine. You want Ryan? Cool. You want Ausar? Go ahead. You want Kevin Huerter? Good luck. Whatever you do, Javonte Green out there, go ahead, go for it. Like, we got so many guys that can defend and that are switchable, where you ain't got to always try to fight over and try to get him back to his block. No, they're going to run another screen and roll until they get what they want, if it's there. If it ain't there, ain't nothing to do. There's no screen to roll. There's nothing to do. So I just like how we have that defensive versatility that Trajan Langdon said he wanted. He said he wanted at the beginning of the year. He wants guys who are defensive, versatile defensively, who have length. That's what he wants. And that's what you see on the floor with a lot of these guys. So he has the guys he wants for the system, and it's working. It's working, man. Sweep or gentleman sweep? Okay, gentleman sweep. Yeah, I say 4-1. You saying 4-0, 4-1? Okay, I ain't mad at that. Yep, 6 should do it. 5 should do it. Okay. All right, cool. Let's keep going, guys. Like I said, get into as many comments as I can. Y'all know the drill, man. If I miss you, repost it or whatever you want to do. All right, man. Let's go ahead now. Almost said boss. He's not here. Guys, let's go to Tobias Harris in this game, guys. Tobias Harris in this game finished with only 8 points on 3-5 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 1 of 3 from the line. 6 boards and 1 turnover in 25 minutes. So this wasn't a great game for Tobias Harris. Not that he played bad, he just didn't do a lot. He was just kind of out there. Wasn't a huge game. He had his moments. He caught that nice little rare lob from JD. JD threw him a lob on the break. He caught it. That was rare. Nice to see that from him. But he had also had a nice and 1 in the second quarter. I think he had Kobe White on him on a mismatch. They hunted that out. Barbecue chicken. That was easy. off of the course for Uncle T. He did knock down also a big 3 in the third quarter to give us a little bit of separation. Because like I said, this game was pretty much nip tuck. It was tight a lot of this game. Like, it was tied. We were up 1, up 2, 3. They go up 1. We get back up. They weren't really up for long. They didn't really lead much in this game. They get the lead, a 1-point lead, and we take it right back. We led 80% of this game, though. We were in control of this game for most of this game, even though it was tight. But Tobias Harris gave us a big 3 in that third quarter, I think, to put us up 4 or 5. And that felt like a big lead in that kind of a game. It was a huge shot. So once again, he didn't do a lot in this game. He only took 5 shots. 5 shots. So he didn't really have a lot of shots that he took. Maybe he was trying to adjust to Cade coming back, but I still need more than 5 shots from Tobias Harris. But not a terrible game, just kind of a quiet game for Tobias. But the 6 rebounds is big. 6 boards is big. Because we always say, if you're playing more than 25 minutes, you got to be giving us something if you're not scoring the basketball, right? So 8 points is not a lot, but the 6 rebounds, those were big, bro. Those were huge. So he's kind of been that way since he's gotten here. I say it all the time. Even since last year, when he first got here, he wasn't shooting the ball well. He was in no flow early when he first signed here, first month of the season. He wasn't scoring a lot, like 8 points, 10 points, 6 points. But he had like 9, 10 boards every game. He was always trying to be active on the glass. So I like that he's still doing that. He's still giving us something, even if it's not scoring, which is what he's known for. So once again, it's that buy-in. We always say, like, if we're winning and it's working, even if it's not what you're used to doing, even if it's not what you want to do or like to do, you can't really say no because it's working. If you're a team, if you want to win, you can't really say no. And I think Tobias Harris, as a consummate pro, has just stepped up and done what's needed. Tonight wasn't a great game as far as being a Swiss Army knife, but he still showed he was trying to. So I can live with that. All right, guys, let's keep pushing. Let's check some more comments if there are any here. Yes, that 3 was big, Scooby. Exactly. That was a big shot, man. Big shot for sure. Somebody always stepped up tonight to make a play to repel the shot. Yeah, exactly. They were trying to make those runs with some momentum, and we would always kind of stifle them with a big shot or a big play or a big steal from Ausar or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Tobias did it exactly. Yep. Y'all get it. Y'all get it, man. All right. Let's go, guys, to JD in this game. Jalen Duren, guys. Jalen Duren tonight finished with 20 points on 8 for 11 shooting, 4-4 from the free throw line. It continues. He is knocking down his free throws, guys. I think he's shooting close to 80% on the season now. At one point, I think he was like 40 for 45, which is like 93, 94%, which is crazy. Yeah, ridiculous. 4-4 again tonight. So I think that free throw shooting, he's figured something out, whether it was mental or something with his mechanics, whatever. But he's doing what I hoped he would do from the line. We always say it, man. He's going to get fouled a lot. He's going to be at the line a lot. He didn't take a ton tonight. He should have more than 4 for sure, especially with the mismatch he had. He should have more than 4. But he's going to be living there a lot. And it's important for him to go to the line and knock him down. And this year, man, he's been great from the free throw line, especially the last 2 months. He's been incredible, shooting better from the line than a lot of guards in this league as a big man. But I always thought he could do it. I said last year, I think he could be 80%. I said at the top of this season, shoot for 80%, bro. I know people are like, 80%? He's a center. I said, I know. Yeah, I know. He's got the touch, though. I saw it early on. He's got the touch. So now it's just the mental part and just stepping up to the line, taking your time and knocking him down. And he's doing it. Also, 9 boards for him, 4 assists to 2 turnovers. I'm taking that 2-1 for a center. I'm taking that. It's not great, but it's good enough for a center. Only 22 minutes. And that was the only area of criticism that I had for him in this game, was just his fouling. 5 fouls. 5 fouls. That's tough. That's tough, man. I want to see that from him. The availability piece for him has been not really a problem this year. It was last year, right, where he would get 2 fouls early, a lot like a guy like Andre Drummond would do when he started a game. 5 points and 4 assists with 2 blocks and 4 boards in the first 5 minutes, or first 3 or 4 minutes, and he's got 2 fouls. And he got to go sit down until second quarter. We saw it all the time. JD, that was kind of the case last year. Not so much this year. So this was the first time in a while where he's had to sit down for most of the first quarter, because he's usually available. He's usually not fouling, bad fouls. He had a couple of the night where it's like, come on, JD. Come on, man. You got to, come on. But overall, he was great in this game, man. He was great. They don't have an answer for him. At all. Like you can see Diabate, Carlbrenner, those guys, they can't guard him. And they know that if they meet in the playoffs, he's going to be a problem. They know it, because I saw whenever he got the ball in the paint, they had another body coming hard to him, trying to double every single time. They know they have nobody who can guard that man. Straight up. He's just too strong and athletic. And it's going to be really important for him, once again, to make good decisions out of that double team. Because I think in the playoffs, we might see more of that, guys. We might see when he catches the ball, a hard double team come. They'd rather force him to make the right play out of it than to go ahead and dunk it on somebody's head. It makes sense, right? And that's not a knock on JD because he's shown that he's got pretty good ability to pass the ball. I've said that. He's shown that. But they're playing the numbers. We want to give up a foul, or and one, or a dunk, or we want to go double and force him to make the right play out of it and force guys, his teammates, to make the right adjustment or to make the right cut or to move to the right spot to get open. So I think in the playoffs, we may see teams elect to do that more as far as just doubling him every time. The only problem is that when he's playing with Cade, that's going to give Cade an opportunity to do what he wants to do because now he's playing with a numbers advantage. We see the double come to Cade a lot, but they're going to start doubling JD. Something's going to be there for Cade or somebody else. So that's going to be something that to watch out for sure. But I think that's all I have on JD. One more thing, even though he got in foul trouble, it is nice to have guys like Isaiah Stewart off your bench. It is nice to have guys like Paul Reed off your bench, who once again, guys, when called upon, stepped up and delivered in JD's absence. But overall, JD, I thought he played a really good game. I don't like him trying to push the break. I've been saying it since last year, all right? There's a time when he was pushing the ball, trying to go behind his back, and as soon as he went behind his back, I'm like, here comes a turnover. Here comes a turnover. So I don't want to see that. I know they're trying to encourage him, to, all these guys to push the pace and to get out in transition. But I'm like, just find your point guard, bro. Whether it's Daniss, whether it's Cade. I know you can handle. I know you can manhandle. But when it comes to, pushing the break, find your point guard, bro. Allow them to find you. If you get off it and just sprint, it might come right back to you, whether it's for a lob or whether it's because they weren't able to get back in defense. They had to get a body on you. And a lot of times that body is going to be a small guy. So you give it up, set up shop under the paint, sprint down the court, and either Daniss or Cade is going to find you. They're going to find you. So that's my only two things, just the foul trouble and stop boarding and pushing, bro. Find your point guard. But a great game otherwise from JD, man. He's really been hooping. He has really been playing well. He deserves that MIP award for sure. Let's get to some comments, man, and we will keep pushing. We'll go to some reserves quickly, and we'll call it a night, guys. Mike says, JB a bit slop. Yep, exactly. Yep. It's a crazy advantage to have a guy make free throws like a guard 100%. Lily, or Lil J, my bad, bro. Lil J. I caught myself. It's not Lily, it's Lil J. The J always throws me off with the dot right next to the other eye. Anyway, you're right, sir. You are right. Imagine Drummond shooting. Oh, my. What? Imagine Drummond shooting 80% from the line. Think about how dominant he was, and he shot a little better than half of that. And I love Dre, but he was like 45% sometimes. Like, you know what's funny? The game, I think, didn't Andre Drummond set a record for free throws that were shot in the game with like 37 free throws against the Houston Rockets? I think he went like 13 for 37 or 14 for 38 in that game. He took close to 40 free throws. If I'm not mistaken, I think he took close to 40 free throws in that game. But the funnier part, guys, the coach was JB Bickerstaff. He was the one that was telling them to foul. That was where the hack of Dre came from. Torch, that's where it came from. Because he was like, nah, man, he can't shoot free throws, bro. He can't shoot free throws. Go ahead and keep fouling him, keep hacking him until he starts knocking him down. I think that was the first time I was actually introduced to JB Bickerstaff as a coach. I believe that was the first time. You guys can fact check that. But I think he was. I remember him on the sideline, like, yeah, like follow him again, bro. Like he can't shoot free throws. But I'm pretty sure that was him. If you guys remember that, that's how ironic is that, right? How funny is that? Yeah, I know. And this is not like I love Andre. He's a great dude too. He's a really nice. I got a chance to meet him a few times. He's a real cool dude, man. Real cool dude. But in that situation, JB was like, man, follow him. But yeah, if he could shoot 80% from the line, he would be one of the greats. He could be one of the greats. And I also think if he could shoot that well from the line, I think he would have ended up becoming a better post player, a better offensive player. Because I think he would have more confidence in being able to go to the line and knock him down. That 15 he averaged a game would have been 20, 25 a game, right? So, yeah, you can't do that to JD. You can't foul him over and over and over again. You're going to foul out, and he's going to take advantage and hit 80% of free throws. 3 points. That's why it's so important for him. And that's why I say 80% at the start of the season. If you get there, you are unstoppable, bro. because they can't stop you without a stop at your play, right? And they can't stop you if they foul you because you're going to go to the line to get those 2 points. So that's why it's so important for JD. That's why I think JD can be one of the most efficient big men we've seen in a long time because of that. What up, Cardenas? Says, what up, Deuce? If the Hornets are the Pistons' first-round opponent, our defense has to bring reality to LaMelo's high school style of play. That's a fact, bro. That is a fact, man. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work for 7 games, man. It may work for 1 or 2, but not 7. And not when you got guys like Ausar Thompson and Ron Holland that are guarding you, and Javonte Green, who can guard you, and even Kevin Huerter at times, who can guard you, right? That's how you kind of combat them. Like, we're kind of built for them because they have a lot of guys who can score individually. Like, they got weapons. You know, Kniple's a shooter scorer. He's a sniper, right? He's kind of like their Duncan Robinson in a sense, as far as what he does for that team. And then you've got guys like Brandon Miller, who's a bucket. He reminds me of Paul George when he was younger. Really smooth game, really good offensive player. He's a good player. He's going to be good. He's going to be a really good player. He already is a good player. And then you got LaMelo, who can also get a bucket. He's out of control sometimes, but he's a threat. He's a weapon. A lot of teams don't have the defenders across the board who can deal with all 3 of those guys. They got 1 or 2 stoppers, maybe 2, but the other guy's still gonna be to eat, right? Who's got the easiest matchup? Okay, it's your night, right? But with the Pistons, it's like, where do you do that? Especially if you start Kevin Huerter. I'm just saying. I'll leave it there, but y'all get my point. But Cardenas, I agree, bro. I agree, man. Dre's at 60%. Okay, good for him. Good for him, man. Thanks, Hornets, for handing us. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Shout out to Troy Weaver for going back in the draft. He went and got J.I. at 5 and then got back in the draft to get J.D. at 13. For those who remember, he made a trade for Jeremy Grant days before the draft. He traded Jeremy Grant for 2 second-round picks, I believe, was the biggest piece of the trade. He then turned around draft night and made a trade to get back into the draft and included those same 2 second-round picks that he traded for to get that pick, which got us JD. So good on him to make sure that he didn't let that guy pass by, because that would have been tragic if we weren't. Like, imagine us without JD now, you know, at the same age or in the same bracket as a Ausar, as a Cade. Building block, huge building block. So, you know, that was a very big night. Those are very big moves in that stretch to be able to have the capital to go get JD. Just saying. Facts are facts, guys. All right, but let's keep going, guys. Let's keep pushing, man. Let's go to some reserves in this game, guys. Let's start with Daniss Jenkins, man. Tank in this game, guys. Daniss Jenkins finished with only 6 points. He played 18 minutes, 6 points, 2 for 9 overall. He couldn't find his shot tonight. All 3 from 3. 2 from the free throw line. 1 board, 3 assists to 1 turnover. That's solid. I'm taking it. That's good. 3-to-1 ratio is good. 2 steals and a block for 3 stocks for Tank. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Kevin is funny. Kevin said Hornets also traded Kobe. Ooh, that's tragic. Shots fired. Bye, but the truth. Yeah, man. Guys, I thought Daniss tonight, he didn't shoot the ball well. His shot was not falling tonight. He had some good looks. It just didn't fall. I thought as far as being a point guard and just wheeling and dealing and being a floor general, did a good job of that. As far as just making the right reads in the half court, pushing the basketball. With the pick and roll, he was good, right? Just making the right read. If they came to him, he was finding the open man. If they didn't, they were trying to just play it. He's just inching his way towards the hoop. He's got his guy in the hip, and he's got a low man at the hoop. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop me, or what are you gonna do? And whatever they did, he either took the shot, if they just let him have it, made the right pass, drew the foul, just made the right play. He processes the game well for a point guard. And he played a little chess too. First time down on 2 possessions. First time down, he got the guy on his hip, right, and hit the midi. They gave him the midi, knocked it down. A few plays later, he waited for the low man to come help, and he got JD for a lob once D-Body came over, right? He actually came to him because last time down, he hit the midi. So this time, they're showing. And this, if you're going to come to me, JD's open, right? So he's just playing chess, setting him up for the next play, right? I thought his defense, though, guys, on Kobe White and all those guys were great. Really good defense, just moving your feet, playing defense with your heads down, with your arms down, straight jacket defense, as I call it. Just, the hands just at your sides. It was great to see that for sure. He made some really nice plays defensively, guys. Really good plays defensively. He was a pest, man. He's a dog, guys. Defensively, he's a dog. Just coming up with steals. I love how he fights over screens. He's so good at that, guys. Like, he's able to. Ausar's good at that too, being able to avoid the screen and get back in front quickly. We saw Tink doing that routinely, fighting over the screen, or if he's going under, he's spinning off of it and getting right back in front. Like just battling defensively, man, was Daniss Jenkins for sure, man. His defense is very underrated. He's not the biggest or strongest guy. He is 6'4". He don't look it, but he's 6'4". He's a pretty tall guy for a point guard, right? But he definitely was just somebody who was battling defensively, man. That was the biggest thing for me, just being a defensive pest. And once again, when your shot's not falling, which you can't control, what are you relying on? How are you helping the team? And he found ways to help the team. That's the whole point that we're getting to with this team. He embodies what this team is. There's so many games this year, not so many, but there's been a handful of games this year where he hasn't shot the ball well. He's actually shot the ball terribly. And we're like, he shot bad. But the overall game, he was pretty good, right? Because he's multidimensional. There's guys in this league, if they're not shooting the ball well, like LaMelo. If LaMelo's not shooting the ball well, we're not saying he had a good game. We're not. Because we're not looking at his defense and seeing it as a plus. That's what he has to do to be effective. That's what they had to do to be effective. But this team, that player, Daniss Jenkins, they can still play well in other ways if the shot is not falling. Once again, that's winning basketball. That's the difference. And tonight he did that. He embodied that again. So the scoring wasn't there for him. The shooting wasn't there for him. But he was a leader on the court. He made good plays for others, right? He kept the defense honest. And defensively, he strapped up. So when he is knocking down shots, it's a wrap for his matchup. Let's get to some comments, guys. Daniss' defense sparked that fourth quarter shutdown. Yes, it did. Yep. I think JD will get the midi game going next year. Yes, that's the next progression for him, Torchwood, for sure. JD was solid out there, even though he was a little off. He had some big shots later in the game. Yes, sir. I agree. Daniss' defense and pace helped us in the fourth. He honestly looked comfortable because it was intense. Yes, it was intense. That's how he played. That's who he is. He's a very intense player. He's a smart player for sure. DJ did what we needed him to do. He took the open shots. He was aggressive, played good D. We ran the show. Yes, he did have a bad lob to Ron Holland. It was that was a Victor Wembanyama type lob. Like, bro, it was a little too high. Just a little too hot. Just a little bit too high. But yeah, I think that was his only turnover too. Let me see. I think that was his only. Yes, it was. That was his only turnover. Was that play? Just a little too hot in the pass, right? So I'm living with that because once again, he's trying to push the pace. He's trying to play the way we want to play, defense to offense, right? Just a little bit too hot. Play good D. Yeah, the lob pass didn't shoot great tonight, but otherwise, that's exactly it. Like we're saying about him numerous times when he's not shooting the ball well that he's still playing well because he's able to do more than just one thing. Jenkins is our Kobe White, Colin Sexton. Yeah, he could be better though, because I think he's already a better point guard than both of those guys. Kobe, I think they're better scorers right now, right? But as of right now, I think he's a better point guard. He's a better defender than Kobe White. Colin Sexton is a pretty good defender, but I think Jenkins is going to be better. Yeah, and this is his rookie season, essentially, which is crazy, right? He didn't play much last year. This is his first, so imagine him 2-3 years from now, if he's still here, hopefully. Yeah. He's wiry. Exactly. I agree. DJ, go DJ. That's my DJ. Yes, sir. 59 wins. Let me see. I love how Daniss plays with that edge and angry swag. Exactly. The encore swag is infectious, bro. That is infectious, man. Daniss Jenkins is a winner. I have at least some confidence in every single player we have on the roster right now. I do too. That if in a spot we need them to come in and do what they do and help the team win, they can do it. I agree. Jenkins has vision, makes the right reads. Yeah, y'all get it, man. Y'all get it. Man, 59 wins. Come on, man. Nope, we weren't. We were not expecting this, bro. Especially after a 30-game jump last year to go 15 more this year. From 44 to now 59. That's crazy. 30 last year from 14 to 44. And then this year, 15 more. From 44 to 59. I will say, I got to shout my dog out King because he was the only person, guys, who I saw was saying, we're going to get 60. I said we're going to get 50. He said 60, right? So shout out to him. Last year, when everybody was saying 25, he was saying 40. And I was like, 40? Okay. And they won 44. And then this year he says 60. I'm like, 60? You tripping, bro. And here we are, one game from, he may hit it on the nose. So shout out to him for sure. We're going to do a show, guys. Myself, King, Boss, and E. Vinny. We're going to do a show soon, a playoff show during the week off when the play-in is kind of getting figured out. So y'all stick around for that for sure. That's coming. It's going to be a fun one. Bro, 60 is wild with the injuries and suspensions. And we're not even complete yet, bro. We're not even a complete like roster wise. We've got a good team. We've got a really good team. We've got a great system, and this system works for our guys. But we're not even in our final form yet. That's the crazy part, because of who we may add potentially, and because of these guys continuing year over year to get better. Like you see, we saw the jumps from last year to this year. JD's gotten better. Ausar's gotten better. Cade's gotten better. Ron's gotten better. Stu's gotten better. Everyone who's still here has gotten better. So it's only going to continue next year because these guys want to continue to get better. So yeah, nowhere near a final form. That's the fun part, man. It's a fun time to be a Pistons fan. I ain't lying to you, but I thought the sky. Okay, Chris. Hey, say it with your chest, bro. I ain't mad at you, my dog. I said 55, but 55 is a good number too, Chrissy. That's a really good number. But 60 is amazing. They are evolution. Y'all get it, man. Tink earned a job for a long time hooping. He's a very important piece. You get it, Mecklemore. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, man. I saw it back in Summer League in 2024. I'm like, this dude, please keep him, Trajan. Like, thank you for seeing that he didn't get drafted and seeing he's still a good player and for giving him an invite to Summer League. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And thank you for signing him and keeping him here. Yep. Y'all get it, man. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Let's keep pushing, guys. Let's go to who's next? Let's go to Kevin Huerter, guys. What is that, Velvet? Kevin Huerter, guys, in this game finished with 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 boards, 3 assists, and 1 steal. And so 2 stocks for Kevin Huerter and no turnovers for Kevin Huerter. Wow. Had the highest plus minus on the team. Not that it means much, but that's that, right? But yeah, I thought Kevin, another example, guys, of a guy who didn't score a ton of points, but was still effective. Still found other ways to help you. This wasn't one of his best games, but he was good. He was good. He didn't play a ton of minutes. He played 16, I think I said? 16 minutes? Yeah. I'll take 5 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, and 2 stocks with no turnovers in 16 minutes. All day long. All day long. All day long. What is that, Velvet? Said Krill. What is that, Velvet? Red Velvet. Red Skull, in the words of Chris. Shout out to you, bro. I'm starting to think he won't crack the rotation. Oh, he's going to be in the rotation, bro. Kevin Huerter is going to, guys. Kevin Huerter is going to be in the playoff rotation. I can say that with confidence right now. I can say that right now. No question in my mind. The Red Skull hit that deep 3 in the clutch. And guys, we're going to talk about in our show. We're going to talk rotations. We're going to talk who you guys think has benefited the most in Cade's absence. We're going to have a fun show. A lot of good topics we're going to talk about. We may bring up that B's dunk conversation that you guys brought up earlier. We'll see. But yeah, I thought Huerter was good. He plays good. Yes, he does, Chrissy. He plays good defense. Stays active with his hands and head movement. Does he have? Yes, he does have experience with the Sacramento Kings. I don't know if he had any with the Hawks, but I know he did with the Kings. When the year, I think this I always say this, the year that the Warriors won their championship in 2022. Yeah, 2022. Before they got to the finals and beat Boston, they had to play the Kings in that first round. And the Kings took them 7 games. That was when De'Aaron Fox was there. I think DeRozan was still there. Huerter was there. Sabonis was there. They had a good team. And the way he's playing now, imagine him playing this way as a starter and shooting even better from 3. That was Kevin Huerter in Sacramento. And they gave the Warriors all they could handle, bro. It went down to game 7. And it was a nail biter. But he was balling. The way he's playing now is how he played. But his 3 ball was wet. He's getting there. He's not there yet, right? But what did he shoot tonight? Would he make 1 tonight? Yeah, 1 for 3. Not great, but he only took 3. No big deal. Only 16 minutes. I think with more time and opportunity, he could do a lot more. But he does. That was a great series, and he was doing all the same things he does right now, which is why I was telling Boss early this season, or midway through the season when we got him, I thought it was a good pickup as far as having a guy who can just do a lot of individual small things for you. He just knows how to play. I was hurt by the loss of J.I. You already know how I feel about that, right? But looking at what we got in return for what it is only, I thought that he could be a good player. I said, Boss, if he returns to Sacramento, because she didn't want him here. She did not like him because of how he played with the Bulls and the Hawks. He wasn't that good. He kind of fell off after he left Sacramento. Wasn't in great situations, though, to be fair. But I told her, I think he can be the version we saw in Sacramento because of how we play here, because we have a good coach and a great system, and because 90% of the guys that Trajan has brought in have played great, have had revelations, right? Tim Hardaway Jr. went from not playing in the finals with Dallas for some strange reason to balling out for the Pistons and playing a role. B's had a career season. We see what Duncan's doing this year. We see what Tobias is doing since the Sixers were ready to trade him for a crumble cookie for not scoring any points in his last playoff game with them. All these vets who have came in, for the most part, have been great and had resurrections and have been resurging their careers. So I said, why not Kevin Huerter? And here he is doing the same thing. So that's why I think it was such a huge move, man. And once again, Trajan Langdon, good pickup. Good pickup. So I think he's going to be big for us too. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to play in the playoffs. No doubt in my mind he's going to play in the playoffs, bro, at all. That Kings Warriors series was yes, it was, but it was a really entertaining series. Steph finished him off with 50 in the game 7. Yes, he did, bro. It took 50. And I remember him saying, because they were a young team, they hadn't been there before. He was like, y'all can't close. Y'all know how to close. Y'all know how to close. And he was right. They had championship pedigree. They had already won three of them things, right? So it was like, that's a tough ask for anybody, for any young team to be the champion. So yeah, it is what it is, man. But he played great. Let's keep going, guys. Let's keep pushing. I'm getting to as many comments as I can. I'm trying my best, y'all. Y'all just work with me, man. Like I said, if you want to be guaranteed to get up here, hit me with a super chat. We'll go from there. But I appreciate you guys, man, for your support and your comments. Y'all making a lot of great points. Okay. As far as Kevin Huerter, I think that's all I have. Oh, one more thing. Good defense. 2 more things. Good defense on Brandon Miller. He's a good defender, man. We said it already, but he's a good defender. And he continues to just play solid defensively, forcing guys into tough shots. You don't see him getting hunted out. You don't see teams trying to switch on him because it's not really an advantage. I mean, going from a star to anybody is an advantage, or it's an upgrade for if you're an offensive player. But it ain't no slouch. It ain't no huge drop off when you got to switch when the switch is Kevin Huerter. He's a good defender. He knows how to play angles. He plays physical. He doesn't foul a lot. He just plays straight up. He's just smart. He's a really good player who can do a lot of different things. No fouls, again, for Kevin Huerter against a really good offensive team with great individual offensive weapons and no fouls. You know what I'm saying? He can do a lot, man. He can do a lot of good things for you in the basketball court. That's why I think like Javonte Green, who can also do the same thing, those guys are going to find their way into the court. Those guys don't hurt you in the court. That's why they're going to play, and they play our style more than anything. So, yeah, man. Yeah, we'll see, guys, but I don't have any doubt in my mind that he's going to play in the playoffs. Him and Javonte, who we'll get to in a minute. He had a huge 3-ball in the fourth quarter. That was a big shot. Coming off a screen, just rising. Again, just rising. He didn't take a ton of threes tonight, but he only played 16 minutes, right? I want to see the volume go up if he's going to play more. 3 and 16 is cool, not a ton, but they were all in rhythm, all good shots. But when he's just letting it fly, much like Duncan, those are 2 of our best shooters. So once again, we need you to shoot if it's there. Don't think, don't hesitate, don't worry about stepping on toes. Is this the perfect shot? Bro, just take the shot. If it's there, take it. And he's doing that more, just like Duncan. So I think they're helping each other because they have similar roles on this team. They can both do a lot of the same things. I think Huerter can do a lot of those things at a little bit higher level. But as far as role, they do a lot of the same things. So won't be surprised if Duncan is in his ear, helping him. Like, they ain't going to care, bro. Like, just take the shot, bro. Like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Just as far as a vibe standpoint, just helping them understand it's okay for you to do this. It's what we need you to do on this team. So, yeah. Let's get to a few more comments, guys. Trajan is the man. Yes, he is. He's just a good basketball player. 100%. Let's see. What else he got? He just needed to be in the locker room with some culture. Yeah, he has something to play for now, bro. Like, no shade to Atlanta or the Bulls. They weren't really going anywhere. They weren't going nowhere. And I think he sees an opportunity now to be part of something special. So those kind of things, these kind of situations can motivate guys or rejuvenate guys into trying to be the best they can be. That's why I think in Sacramento when they were competing, he was good. That's why I think in Detroit now, he's playing well. I don't think it's a coincidence. I'm just saying. Remember Huerter dropped 20 on us earlier this year? Yes. Yeah, I remember that game, bro. Yep. So you got familiar with him this year. You got introduced to him basically this year is what you're saying. Then leaving the playoffs? Yes, 100%. No question. The vibe is good enough for me, 100%. Caris been balling too. Him, Huerter, and Javonte are important guys. I agree. I think Caris. Well, no, I'm not going to do that because he played. Yeah, we're gonna get to him for sure. I take that back. I was about to say something. I took it back though. Yeah, when Ron can jack up a clanker shot from 3 for the whole season and still do it, they're okay with you shooting threes. Yes, exactly, bro. Great point, Torch Lord. Great point. I always say, if Ron's in rhythm, man, shoot that thing, bro. If it's a swing from the corner, man, shoot it. Shoot. In the words of Rick James, Prince, shoot the J, shoot it. My Dave Chappelle fans. But yeah, shoot the ball, bro. Yeah, if Ron's doing it, and no shade to Ron, but Huerter and Duncan are superior shooters. That's what they do, right? They don't have Ron's athleticism. Not like that. That's not different games. But if Ron is shooting it and they're okay with it, Duncan, shoot it more. Huerter, shoot it more. 100%. Great comment. Good system to integrate into as well. I agree for Kevin Huerter. Cousin Kev always does a heat check whenever he does. I've seen him like take one and then another one from like, bro, 35 feet? Okay, all right, okay. But then he'll stop. If it don't go in, he's done. He ain't going to shoot you out of a game either. He's smart. He knows better. AJ Green here, 13. I'm straight on AJ Green. Blue. Got to have some direction to buy into a role player like Huerter. Exactly. That's a good point. Red Velvet. Y'all get it, man. All right, man. So we'll leave it there, guys, on Kevin Huerter. Another solid game. Also, last thing, had a nice drive and dime to JD, putting the ball on the floor, showing he can do more than just shoot. Once again, like a Duncan Robinson, similar roles, right? Can put the ball on the floor and make secondary plays. Much like Duncan Robinson does, just at a little bit of a higher clip. A little bit more athletic, a little bit quicker off the ball, getting to the hoop, finding an open guy. That's Kevin Huerter. That's Duncan Robinson. That's what they do. Guys, let's keep pushing, man. We got a few more guys to get to, and we'll call it a night. Let's go now to the guy whose statement I just took back, and that is Caris LeVert, guys. Caris LeVert in this game finished with, once again, he played 15. So it's funny. Kevin Huerter played 16 minutes and scored 5. LeVert played 15 minutes and scored 6. Invert there. 6 points in 15 minutes, 2 of 7 from the field. Not a great percentage, but that's okay. 0 for 1 from 3. Hit his free throws, 2 for 2. 2 boards and 3 assists and no turnovers. That is a great sign for Caris LeVert. No turnovers and 3 assists. Taking care of the basketball. Pistons only had 13 as a team. 13 as a team is good. At least that's what it says here. 13 assists or 13 turnovers as a team is good. Also for Caris LeVert, had 2 steals and a block with 3 stocks for Caris LeVert is good. In 15 minutes, you have 3 stocks for a guard. That's great. That's a great sign. Great sign. Exactly, Kevin. Great sign. Michael, let's go some quick comments first. Mike says, we've talked about defense a lot so far. Caris was great on defense tonight. He's just going to play 15 plus minutes in the playoffs. He can really be useful for a transition game and half-court defense. Yes, Michael. Yes. I agree with all of those points. Guys, Caris LeVert was huge in this game. Caris LeVert was one of the players I was most happy with in this game. Because of his defense. Because of his defense, guys. He did a little bit of everything in this game defensively. From effort to just smart tactical plays. Effort plays, diving on the floor, coming up with those 50-50 balls we always talk about. Those are effort plays. Just fighting for the possession. He was diving on the floor, trying to get the ball, coming up with it. He had some nice baseline steals. He and Huerter had a nice baseline steal because they read the play the whole way. They read the play, and that's the advantage of having veterans on your team. When they've seen a ton of offensive sets from teams they played against already, they kind of know what these guys are going to do when the ball hits a certain area. They know where the next swing is going to. You could see him running to the ball before the pass was even made, running to the spot where the ball was going before the pass was even made. Was Caris LeVert. That's his experience. That's stuff you can't really teach until you actually see it enough. That's the advantage of having vets. So that was a nice play that he made, just picking that pass off. He knew where it was going, read it the whole way. On one play, he just took the ball away from Cunningham. Off a pin down, caught the ball. Give me that. And then he also came across and blocked Cunninham's 3-ball on the next possession. Air ball. He got a finger on it, right? Didn't foul. I was about to be upset and talking about him fouling on the 3, but he didn't. He made a good play without fouling. Really good play. Great defensive sequence, man. Those were huge plays in that third quarter because at that point, again, big shot. I think Tobias hit a big shot when it was tight. I think Huerter hit a big shot when it was tight. Caris LeVert hit a big shot when it was tight. Right? So that was huge, man. I thought he played the way the Pistons want to play. Quick and decisive. Right? That's what I want to see from him. I want to see Caris LeVert when he catches the ball, go or make a pass quickly. Like be quick and be decisive. Don't pound the ball. Don't over dribble, which is I think they had him doing. He was doing that because they were trying him at point guard, but he's not a point guard. He's a combo guard who's like 70-30 scoring, facilitating, right? He's not a 50-50 guard. I think a guy like Daniss Jenkins is probably more of a 50-50 guy, or a Cade who's a 50-50 guy. He can assist or he can score. That's a better, Cade is a better example. He can assist or he can score. You don't know what he's going to do on any given possession as a 50-50 guy. Caris is more of a 70-30 guy, scoring and assisting. He's not a guy you want on ball trying to make plays for other guys, like consistently. He can in a pinch, but we saw earlier this year he struggled at times making the right read and making the pass or losing the ball, just too much dribbling. When he's off ball, that's when he's at his best, especially in transition, because he's still got some speed. He's still athletic. But I just like when he's catching the ball, he's just decisive. He's looking to get downhill as soon as he catches the ball. He's looking to get off of it if it's not there, and he's relocating, right? So that's what I want to see. Just catch and go, or catch and move, and then relocate. So like I said, when he's getting downhill, when he's using the speed, attacking the basket, playing with intention, that's when he's at his best offensively. That's when he is at his best, especially in transition, man, because he sprints. When the shot's off and the ball's secured defensively, he's sprinting down the court, trying to get an easy shot or whatever. So like that's how I like him playing. When he's playing that way, more times than not, he's gonna help you as opposed to hurting you, as opposed to him being on ball and trying to make decisions. No, he's a shooting guard. He needs to score. He's a scoring guard. Go score. He dropped 50 with the Nets, I think, as a scoring guard. That's what we need. And the defense is always going to be there. It's been there the whole year. The same way I said last year with Tobias. When the offense wasn't there, the rebounding was there. This year with Caris, when the offense wasn't there, when the decision-making wasn't there, the defense was there. That's been a constant. And he deserves credit for that because he's doing what Coach Bickerstaff wants him to do. That's a big part of why he's playing defense. It's because when they're both in Cleveland, he told Caris, if you're not playing D, bro, you ain't playing. I know he was with Brooklyn and all the other teams. Nah, you're going to play defense here, bro. So it's just nice to see that carryover. And it's nice to have him here playing for a coach who he knows what to do here. He knows if he's going to stay in the court, regardless of the offense, like you said all night, regardless of the offense, regardless of the shooting, we have to hang our hat on things we can't control. And that's what Caris LeVert is doing. That's what he's doing. Mike said they had Huerter at the 2, Caris at the 3. I like that. I like that. Exactly. I'm not mad at that because he's big enough to guard threes. Not all threes, but most threes. He's about 6'6", got a pretty good wingspan, pretty strong. I like that. I like that for sure. Let's just see. I just seen Ron Holland second shooting 36% from 3 over his last 6 games, 40% over his last year. We're going to get to Ron, bro. We're going to get to Ron McLemore for sure. Pistons finally have good length on the wing. Exactly. He's one of my 3 amigos. Duncan, Caris, and the Red Skull is all stepping up to end the year and getting ready for the playoffs. 100%, man. 100%, guys. You guys get it. You guys get it, man. So we're going to keep pushing, man. So we don't take all night here. Casanova. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Caris. All right, guys. Let's keep pushing, man. But good game from Caris LeVert, man. I liked what I saw from him, man. Keep it up, bro. Just keep it up. We're going to be just fine with him if he keeps doing this. Okay. Let's see, guys. Let's go now to the guy you guys were just talking about. Let's go to Ron Holland II, McLemore. Ron Holland II, guys, in this game. 13 points, man. 5 for 10 overall. 3 of 5 from 3. 5 boards to 1 assist. Ron with 5 boards, 1 assist, and 1 turnover and a steal. So 1 assist. Okay, I like that. My bad. I thought it said 5 assists. I was like, 5 assists for Ron? But 5 boards, 1 assist, and 1 turnover and a steal for Ron in 20 minutes. So it's good to see Ron get more minutes, man. It's good to see him get more minutes. But he was another guy who played very well in this game. And I see why you guys thought so highly of him as far as the poll. I'm actually going to check back on the poll and see what you guys thought about Ron and if you guys thought that he should have got the belt. I'm trying to see the result of it, but it's freezing. Let me see if I can refresh it. But, yeah, I thought either way, Ron was great. So here's what I saw in this game. 10 points in 2 minutes. 10 points in 2 minutes. The first 2 minutes of the game he came in, 10 points. Immediately out the gate, out of a cannon. 2 3 balls and 2 finishes at the hoop. Incredible, man. He showed why I think, because I know some of you guys were like, he may be playing himself out of the rotation, playoff rotation. I don't think so. I don't think so. I know there's only a certain amount of minutes to go around, but I feel like this is why you got to kind of find a way to get him on the court. You got to find a way to get him on the court because he just plays so freaking hard. So hard. And he can make plays for you like Ausar. Maybe not on the same level, but close. He can make plays for you like that you don't have to really run anything for. Like he can just get your turnover, get your steal, get out on the break, get an easy score. And if he's hitting threes like this, now you're looking at the guy who's playing more like Javonte Green. Not consistently yet, because Javonte Green's a vet. He's a vet. He's been there before. But you're seeing signs of him being able to give you a lot of the same stuff that Javonte gives you. As far as just effort, as far as just physicality, things like that. He showed it again tonight. Like you guys mentioned, he's shooting much better from three now. If that three ball continues to trend, watch out. He still has a lot of room for growth. He's got a lot of room for his bat to get a little bit deeper. You know, sometimes he likes to get his head down and get to the hoop. That doesn't really have a counter yet to that. I want to see him at times get downhill and just plant his pivot foot in the ground, spin, fade away for the midi. That kind of stuff. I want to see that from him next year. But what he's giving you now, you got to find a way to play him. You know, I felt like it was a conversation how much you play him if his shot's not falling just because of how good he is defensively. But when he's knocking down shots like this, it can get spooky really quickly. It can get spooky real quick, man. He actually passed one up in the fourth quarter. And it was like, it wasn't a lack of confidence. It was just, he was trying to be unselfish. He made a swing pass that he didn't have to make. Like he thought it was going to be a better shot, but they rotated well. They didn't bite, right? So he made a pass. And I'm like, bro, shoot it. You're hitting tonight, bro. Keep shooting. Well, you know, I'm not mad at it. He was trying to be unselfish. I get it. And you saw JD, if you watch closely, you saw JD after that, at the next dead ball, he went to him and said, hey, bro, man, shoot that ball, bro. You hot. Shoot it. Just encouraging him, you know? So it's nice to see that his guys also have that confidence in him being able to shoot the ball, right? And that's going to do wonders for his own confidence. Not that he needs it, because he's going to shoot it anyway. But just to reinforce it for him with guys saying stuff like that is big for him. I didn't notice that for sure. But yeah, when he's doing that, when he's hitting threes like that, it's going to make us that much better come playoff time because you're not going to be able to cheat off him. You're not going to be able to cheat. And he's going to make some money more plays for you. You know if his shot's falling, defensively, he's going to give you everything defensively, especially if that shot's falling. But even when it's not, he's still going to give you everything. He's still going to play hard. He's trying to make up for his lack of scoring sometimes with his defense, you know? So he's always going to give you that. Let's get to some quick comments. Ron is a Piston. Yep. Right teams are just what do we do? How do we stop them? Exactly. What do you do? Imagine him and Javonte Green in the court together, guys, off the bench, knocking down shots and giving you defensively what they're giving you. Try switching that. Try switching off Ron and getting Javonte. You know what I'm saying? And you got Huerter out there if he's still on the bench. Like, yeah, a lot of guys who could just play two-way basketball, especially if Ron's able to knock down that shot consistently, for sure. Ron Holland always lock up the big physical wings. He's our biggest true wing defender. You know what's funny? He can guard little guards too, though, bro. He can guard the Kobe Whites. He can guard the Peyton Pritchards. He can guard the TJ McConnells. He can guard the Tyrese Maxeys. He can guard the Jalen Brunsons. He can guard those guys too. He showed he can move his feet very well for a guy his size. To be 6'6", 6'7", and have feet like he does, he's light on his feet. He's very light on his feet, like a guard. And he's taller and he's longer than the guy who's guarding. That's tough. A lot like Ausar. He can do a lot of those same things, man. He said it's over. We're so lucky to have Ron Holland on the team. Yes, that was a great pick. Once again, Trajan Langdon, wheeling and dealing. I wasn't hip to Ron prior to us drafting him. I wasn't. I wasn't Matas Buzelis or I wasn't Dalton Connect. You know, I wasn't hip to Ron, but everybody is. We are now. And I'm happy that we have him on his team because, once again, he embodies even more than those guys who we are and how we want to play. Love it. Ron Holland is 9 for 15 from three-point in his last 4 games. It's crazy. Yeah, bro, it's a great pick, man. That's a great pick. Great pick, man. I love what he's doing. Long way to go for Ron. He's 20 years old, guys. He's 20. So I'm not going to be extra critical because he's not a finished product yet. You know what I mean? We're not there yet. For him to be giving us what he's given, he can't even drink yet. This is a baby in the league, man. He's already given you a lot. So yeah, the sky is the limit for Ron Holland. Mike says, Michael Moore, do you think Ausar is not a true wing defender? I don't think he's saying that. I think he's saying that he is a really good defender as well. Like he's just a true wing defender. I don't think anybody would say Ausar is not a true wing defender. I'm not going to speak for him, but I don't think that's what he was saying. It's just nice to have both of those guys on the court together, especially if they can both get to 35% from three. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. You talk about Javonte Green and Ron. Imagine Ausar with Ron in the court together, man, at the same time as your wing defenders against teams like Boston, right? Who have against teams like Cleveland, who's got James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. Boston, who's got JT and JB. Those are the guys you want guarding those guys. That's exactly what you want. That's the perfect counter guarding the Charlotte Hornets. Brandon Miller, Knuppel, LaMelo. When you've got multiple wing defenders who you can't find a switch on or find and hunt out on, what do? That's why I say it's so important for them to be able to at least be respectable from three. Because if they are, you can play them more. Because you got shooting and you're not having to lean so heavily on your defense. You still got some offense, you still got some spacing with those guys too. So if they can get there, 9 to 5 is going to be something we're seeing a lot more in the future. It's going to be that time, if y'all catch my drift. So we'll leave it there, guys, for sure, man. But I thought Ron was really good again. Really good again. The last game with the Pacers, last game's going to be fun. Last game's going to be fun. But you get it with Boston, right? You see what I'm saying? Cavs, exactly. Same thing. They got great wing players. We got great wing defenders. Good luck. Good luck. Don't be surprised if he gets to DeRozan level up. Oh-wee. So you know what's funny about that? His player development coach, Charles Hill, shout out Charles, when Charles came on the show, I asked him about player comps. I believe he said a Jaylen Brown type of prototype, archetype, as far as who he wants. Not saying he's going to be Jaylen Brown, but he just wants him to have an all-around two-way type of game. He even mentioned Caris LeVert, a young Caris LeVert, but more defense, right? Of course, now Caris is playing better defense now, but like Caris LeVert with Brooklyn, but with this defense. I think he's going to be like DeMar DeRozan is a solid defender. Ron's going to be a top defender, top 10 defender in this league at some point. But offensively, I see what you mean. As far as if he gets to DeRozan, that's all-star. That's all-star. Easy. Because DeRozan is an all-star player, and he's not a great defender. So imagine Ron on this trajectory defensively, and he gets anywhere close to DeRozan, one of the best mid-range shooters and scorers ever in the game. I think he's a top 30 scorer of all time, if I'm not mistaken. Top 30 scorer of all time. But probably higher than that, low-key. But yeah, if he gets to that level, good night. Good night. Ron, yeah, okay, this makes more sense to me. I see a Ron Artest type of guy too. But that's what they're saying about Ausar. That's what's crazy. They're saying Ausar is a Ron Artest type of guy. Did JB Bickerstaff. So if he gets to that, yeah, it's a wrap. So many guys on this team who haven't even scratched the surface, and we're at 60 wins, guys. Crazy. Imagine this team in 3-4 years if they stay together. Imagine Ron at 23-24. Still a baby. Cade at 27. JD at 25. Ausar at 25, 26, 24, 25. Stu just still getting better incrementally. And then whoever else we add to go alongside that. Daniss Jenkins. Imagine him in 3 years. What? If we can keep these guys together and we add pieces around this team, we can be in contention for a long time. I'm talking 5 to 7 years. We can be in contention for a championship with this group and a few pieces around if we decide to make any changes. That's my take on that for sure. We'll see, guys. Yeah, defensive menaces. Yeah. Cade did tell us we were not 2-26 bad. I think he said 2-26 bad at the time. Yeah, he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying because, and he meant that because a lot of those guys that went through that are still here. The core, most of that core is still here. So yeah, he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. This year, we'll see. We'll see, man. All right, guys. A few more guys, and we'll keep pushing. Let's go to now, guys. Javonte Savage, can you woo Green in this game? And guys, I don't have a lot of notes on him. I don't feel like he did a ton in this game. Nothing really stood out to me in this game. He was solid. I know he did his mask, Selly, but because he hit a 3. He did hit a 3 ball in this game. What did he do in this game? Let's check his stats real quick, guys, and see what Javonte Green did in this game. So he played 14 minutes. So all these guys, Caris, Javonte, and Kevin Huerter, played 14, 15, and 16 minutes respectively. And they all scored 6 or 5 points. So Kevin Huerter, 16 minutes, 5 points. Caris LeVert, 5 points, 15 minutes, 6 points. Javonte Green, 14 minutes, 6 points. Javonte took 1 shot. took one shot, and he made it. 3-ball. He made all 3 free throws. 2 boards, no turnovers, no assists, and a steal. 14 minutes. So maybe coach is figuring out a way to get all these guys minutes. Or maybe he's trying to figure out a way to get all these guys minutes enough to where they can all play, and it's not just playing them just to play them, but they can still be impactful too. Because you want to allow guys, if they're going to play, especially in playoffs, to be able to get into a rhythm while they're out there, more than just 4 or 5 minutes, unless you just need them in a pinch, right? But rotational wise, trying to get those guys minutes, 15 is good. Maybe that's a sweet spot he's trying to see what work for all those guys, if that's enough time for them to be able to play. But I thought he was solid. Hit his only shot, was active defensively, playing tough defense, just a solid game. Nothing that really stood out, just a good solid, just very efficient. He shoots well at the free throw line. He's a good shooter from 3. But like we always say, guys, Javonte Green, he just wants to play defense. I always say it, but Pistons admin, shout out to them. Earlier this year, they asked each player if they knew what their highest scoring game was, like in high school, I think. And JD had his, Cade knew his, Caris knew his. Some of these guys, they knew, right? Sasser knew his. But they got to Javonte, and he's like, I don't know, but I'll play defense. And he walked away. Like, he don't even care. He don't even care. He's gonna play defense. So when you got guys like that who are bought in to playing that style and who want to play that style, is a great situation. I think Javonte Green, guys, has officially found a home. He said he was looking for a home when he first got here. And he's played with not a myriad, but a lot of other teams. The Bulls, the Celtics, the Pelicans. I think he's found his home here. Another guy who Trajan Langdon has brought in that has helped them have a resurgent career. He's having one of his best years in his career. He's been in the league over 10 years. Having one of the best league in his best seasons in his career coming here. Another guy that has done that. So, yeah. That's all I got on Javonte Green, man. He is a guy who is going to be in the rotation in the playoffs as well. He just helps you. He doesn't hurt you on the basketball court like Kevin Huerter. He just makes the right play. He's just a winning basketball player. Winning basketball player, man. Avery Whiteside says, I want y'all to remember, Bruce Brown averaged 6 points per game. 3 rings because of his defense. Ausar will be fine. That's a great point, bro. Who was the third? Because I know let me see. He's got 3 rings. I know he got one with the Nuggets in 2023. Where are the other ones at, bro? Did he get 3 rings? Bruce Bowen. Okay. I thought it said Bruce Brown. I'm tripping. Okay, yes, exactly. Bruce Bowen with the San Antonio Spurs, who I really didn't like because he was always sticking his foot up under people when they shot the ball, giving Kobe a bunch of high ankle sprains and stuff like that. But your point is taken. He was a very good, efficient role player for that team. He was a role player for that team, and he was a knockdown shooter from 3. That was the key, though. He was a knockdown shooter. He was a knockdown shooter from 3. So not saying Ausar has to be a knockdown shooter from 3, but he's got to give you something offensively. You know, he's got to give you something offensively. With Bruce Bowen, he was a very limited offensive player, but he was a great mover without the basketball, and he was money from that corner. That boy was money from that corner, wasn't he? He did not miss Avery from that corner for sure, but he knew his role. He knew his role. So if Ausar is able to give us that kind of impact offensively, it may not look the same, but if he can give us that kind of impact that Bruce Bowen gave us while giving us defensive player of the year level defense, exactly. When you've got a Tim Duncan, you got your star, you've got your defensive dogs, you got a spacer here and there, and you got guys who can just go get you buckets. Yeah, that's very similar. Very similar, bro. So that's a great point. Don't have to always be a great offensive player to be a great player. I agree. The X factor is Ron Holland II. We started playing like champions when we drafted him, and he started playing. He is contagious and plays hard and tough, and that rubs off on the team as a whole. Practice too. 100%, bro. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. 2 more. I honestly didn't know who Javonte was before we signed him. I just thought he was signed to fill out the end of the roster. He's been the most pleasant surprise. Yes, he's maybe the best value signing in the NBA across the board. Across the board. Me and Vinny did a video on him, a reel on him, a short on him earlier when he first got here, before he played the game. We were talking about, he's gonna be solid. We thought he was gonna be a good insurance guy. Like if you need him to come in with injuries or foul trouble, he can come in and play a role. He's athletic, he's strong, he's fast, he can get out in the break. That's how he want to play. We didn't expect him doing this, shooting the ball the way he is, and just creating offense off his own defense the way that he has, and just bringing so many intangibles the way that he has. Nobody saw that coming. And I was high on him coming here. I was happy he was brought here. But nobody saw this. Nobody saw this. So this, you're right. But yeah, Bruce Bowen for sure. Hey, I was waiting on him. Mic test. Detroit basketball. What up, though, Tom? Looking forward to seeing you, bro, in about a week. A little more than a week now, guys. He's gonna be here for the playoffs. We are about to be turned for the playoffs, man. Looking forward to you being here, bro. All right, let's see. He torched. He should. I'm sorry. Yeah, torch. He should live in the star head. Right. Whisper 60. Yeah, that's what Javonte was saying. Mr. 60 coach. I like it. What up, Tom? All right, guys, let's go. Let's go now to we got two more guys. Let's go, guys, now to Big Dog, top shot. Isaiah Stewart, guys, in this game. Big Dog pound senior, finished with 5 points on 2 of 4 shooting, 0 of 1 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 1 steal, and 2 blocks for 3 stocks. And once again, only 15 minutes or 16 minutes in this game did Isaiah Stewart give you. And guys, I thought he was really good. I thought Isaiah Stewart was great in this game. I thought he was on some box score receiver type ish in this game. His impact was just his presence, just his defensive presence, man. And guys, I got a little something I'm gonna say about this because this is interesting. I was watching the game. He gave Moussa Diabate problems all night. Had him frustrated all night. Moussa Diabate, I think he's a good player. I think this team is a good team. I just don't know how conducive it is for the playoffs. They're very talented, though, and they're buying into playing systemic basketball, right? But Stu, here's the thing. Diabate is a guy who is a try-hard player. He's an effort guy, Diabate. He's a try-hard player. He's going to bring everything he has. He's going to fight for everything. That's just his game, right? He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not the strongest guy in the world. He's not the most athletic guy in the world. He's just extremely active. And honestly, that's what he needs to be in order to be successful in this league. And I think he understands that. And that's a great thing. Right? But it becomes a problem when you run into a guy like Isaiah Stewart who embodies all of those same things, but just does it at a higher level. Diabate's effectiveness was stunted by Stu tonight because Stu matched his activity and he's just stronger and more polished than Diabate. That's the difference. Stu was able to bully his way into the paint for points tonight. His finishing continues to get better and better and better. His finishing off the glass, from the top of just from the free throw line, 5-10 feet in, he's such a great finisher around the rim, off the glass, either hand, protecting the basketball, using his body to shield the basketball. Even though he's not a great leaper, he's not huge, not a tall guy. He just knows how to score around the rim. That's something he did not have at this level when he first came in. He was not the finisher that he is now. Nowhere close as to what he is now. But he was able to get whatever he wanted. And he kept Diabate off the offensive glass. He kept him off the glass, man. You could tell that what Stu was doing was frustrating Diabate. He was frustrated because Diabate, he's not afraid of physicality. He likes to make you frustrated and get under your skin and battle and all, get handsy and all, like that's his game. But you saw tonight when that happened with him and Stu, when they would get tangled up, it will result in Diabate getting pushed off his spot and then looking for the ref to bail him out. When I saw that, if you're Isaiah Stewart and you see a guy like that he's going toe-to-toe with you, but then he starts getting frustrated and looking for a foul, now you were cool being physical, but now that I do the same thing you do and I'm better at it, now you're looking for fouls. When I saw that happen, I was like, Stu's got him. He's got him. That's how you know you're winning that matchup. That's how you know. It wasn't a guy like Şengün who's always looking for a foul, right? And he's just crying. You got a guy in Diabate who he likes that physicality. He likes to be able to outwork you. But when you got a guy who works just as hard and he's stronger and he's a little bit more polished, you're going to lose that battle. So when I saw him looking for the ref in a physical battle that he likes, Stu's got him. That's when I knew it. So he's got him. And that was it. That was it, man. So that was a fun matchup to watch for me. That was fun to watch. Stu is that's why Stu's so important to this team. He's so important to this team because of the presence that he brings. And he's not afraid to match up with you on that line and say, I'm going to win this battle. You may score more points, but you're going to be all bruised up. You're going to regret this. You're going to feel this in the morning. And you may score more points, but I'm going to win the matchup. I'm going to win the matchup. I'm going to be the one to help my team win more than you do. You're not going to outwork me, bro. Stu is not going to allow anybody to outwork him. Nobody. And that's the key. That's the key. That's why it was so fun to watch, because it was like Spider-Man meme with Diabate, like, oh, this is the same. I'm looking in the mirror, but he's bigger and strong. He's stronger. He's just a little bit more polished than I am. And he's relentless, just like me. So that's tough. When you see the guy who's an agitator getting agitated, you know you got him. That's what we saw. That's what we saw from him, man. Individually, he made some good plays. He was still swatting shots left and right. We saw Brandon Miller drive, swat. LaMelo ball drive, swat. I don't know. It was crazy because the official missed a very egregious play too. Very obvious play where Stu was trying to get the ball off of a heave, a prayer from Miles Bridges, rims out. Stu tries to retrieve the ball. LaMelo Ball literally grabs his arm and pulls him back. The ref is standing right there. Nothing is called. Like, how do you not see that, bro? You're literally standing right there. I saw it from my screen, so how'd you not see it up close? Crazy. And Stu doesn't really complain. We talked about complaining, right? He don't complain unless it's obvious. Boss always says that. He never complains about the whistle unless it's impeding him from making a play. And even then, he'll just keep playing. When I saw him turn and stop, the play was still live, right? They retrieved the offensive rebound because he couldn't get to it because LaMelo grabbed him. The play was still live. And Stu just stopped in his tracks and looked at the ref like, bro, really? When I saw him stop like the play was over, that's when I said, oh, wow, that was probably a missed call for sure, because Stu don't do that. That was crazy. But aside from that, man, I thought he was great. He was incredible. Box score deceiver, for sure, was Isaiah Stewart. Man, his presence was one of the most important keys to this game, his presence. And guys, his presence was definitely missed. Paul Reed has been great for us, but having Stu back as well makes us that much deeper and that much more physically imposing, regardless of who our bigs are. Those three guys together, any combination, I'm here for it. JD and Stu at times, Paul Reed and Stu at times, JD and Paul Reed. I'm here for all of it. All three of those guys bring a level of physicality across the board that you probably can't deal with for 48 minutes. I love it. All right, guys. I can't wait to have him back for the playoffs. I cannot wait. Like every time he plays, I'm more like sure of the fact that had he played last year, we're at least going to the second round. It is what it is, right? Water under the bridge. Let's get to some comments, guys, and we'll keep pushing. Let's see. Stu imposed his will. Yep. Serving up beef stew. You already know it. He showed some self-control. They did. They did try to rage bait him, and he didn't fall for the bait. Diabate was getting frustrated, started barking a little bit. Stu said, "That's cute. That's cute. Let's battle. Let's go battle again. Let's paint and see what you got." That was what Stu said. I was impressed with how he kept his cool. Yep, y'all get it. Walked away immediately. Yep. Oh yeah, definitely, bro. He goes first round in that redraft for sure. Probably goes above Reed Shepard too, who went third anyway. They should just trade us Diabate. He's more right. He was frustrating anyone he tangled up with tonight. That was a BS call they called on him when he was sandwiched between. I saw that too. That was terrible. He started flopping around. Was LaMelo like, come on, bro, what are we doing? If he came to Detroit, he would be a Robin type. He needs some more coaching. Yeah, he's a good player. I like him. Aside from what happened last game, it's one of those things where it's like, if he's on our team, you love it. If he's not, you hate it, right? But it's the same kind of dog mentality. I like him. He's a good player. He's a good player. I don't think we need him per se because you got Paul Reed. I mean, I wouldn't take Diabate right now over any of our guys. JD, nope. Stu, nope. Paul Reed, nope. And Diabate is good. I just think the Pistons have the best 3 big man rotation in the league. You know. All right, let's see. Tonight was a statement win. Yep, Stu in a 7-game series going to have his opponent sore for sure. Yes, big pause, but you are right. 100% no more Kings. He crushed Melo's shot on the drive. Yeah, he absolutely erased it. Good team defense, and Stu finished it off. Exactly. They funneled him that way, and LaMelo was still silly enough to try to take it. So go ahead. We'll When LaMelo had to eat that ball served by Stu, yeah, exactly. I think that was after the play when LaMelo was like trying to bark at Stu for being able to knock down a 3-ball after he grabbed him. Why are you happy about that? You barking because you knocked down a 3 because you had to grab the guy in order to get the offensive board? Okay, congratulations. Whatever. Diabate tried to be physical as if he could beat us at our own game. Exactly. We're better at this style of play than anybody in the league. The way we play, we do it better than anybody in the league. A good example is of somebody who's not is the Charlotte Hornets, right? They play like the Boston Celtics, right? They don't have the defense yet, but they play like the Boston Celtics. They want to get out and run and get up as many threes as they can and live and die with it, right? That's how the Celtics play. That's why it was so funny watching them play the Celtics last week, because they played a good game against the Celtics. It was a high-scoring game. Both teams hitting threes. It was funny just watching both teams do the same thing. It made sense, though, because Charles Lee, the Hornets coach, he was an assistant for Joe Mazzulla in Boston. So he just took his system over there, right? The only reason the Hornets lost was because in the fourth quarter, you saw a team who had championship experience and a team who didn't. The execution in the fourth quarter was the difference. That was why a close game all the way through resulted in the Celtics running away in the fourth quarter. But my point is that as good as the Hornets are at that style of play, the Celtics are still better, right? The Pistons, the way they play, nobody in the league is better at them at their game. When they play their way, they're going to win more times than not, despite what's going on with the other team. And that's the difference. So I agree, Lil Miss. That's a great point. It's all about being physical and playing our style. And that team, in most teams, no team is going to out-physical us and be better than we are at our game if we play the way we want to play. So I agree. Stu, stay healthy. It's over. We barely broke a sweat versus these guys. I sense something special, bro. Charlotte ain't no punks. They're not, bro. They're a good team. If we don't play them, they might upset. Exactly. They were us last year. Exactly. Wet behind the ears. No playoff. Like, we don't have a ton of experience, but I think come playoff time, we've been there. We at least know what it looks like. And we've got vets on this team who really knows what it looks like as you get closer to the finals, as you go deeper and deeper. They don't really have that yet. And that's the difference. That's a great point. I agree. Diabate is a Michigan Wolverine. Is he? Did he went to Michigan? I'm tripping. Listen, I'm not the biggest college buff. I got turned off with college a little bit these last 10 or so years because I was just so exhausted with being in the lottery and having to go scout the lottery and who we might get, these high picks. It exhausted me because I was just tired of being in the lottery because we didn't have a good team. You know, so I just kind of just took a step away for a while. But let me know, Mike. Let me know. Stu is the insolent. Wow, I'm damn dead, bro. That's screaming. Getting the ball in the paint will always get you a lot of wins. It's like having a running game. That's a great point. Exactly. It's steady, just steady play. It's not always glamorous. That's why I miss David Montgomery. Shout out to Pacheco, by the way, who just came here. But Montgomery, his game is not glamorous. It's just 3 or 4 or 5 yards per play. Just keep the chains moving. Just keep the ball moving. Keep the defense on the field. Tire them out, right? Because in those situations, the offensive line is going to hold up longer than the defensive line if you just keep running the ball down the throat, right? You just wear them down. That's what you do with guys like JD. You just punish him, wear him down. It's not glamorous. We just keep the offense moving. Just keep it moving. Keep getting good shots. That's a perfect example, McLemore. That's who the Pistons are. That's why most teams that win Super Bowls have really good running games. They got good quarterback play, but they also have really good running games just to keep the defense on their heels, just to keep them tired, keep them working. Keep running your stuff. That's a ball control, ball possession, right? Time possession. You get it, bro. It's the same thing. I don't blame you, bro. Scooby, I don't blame you, bro. I did not know that. That's what's up. Okay, you play with Mo Wagner. Nice. Okay. I like him a little more now. Okay, Diabate, I see you, bro. That's why JD hitting his free throws. Y'all get it, man. I'm so proud of y'all, bro. I'm so proud of this chat, man. Y'all understand basketball, bro. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. All right, let's keep going, man. Let's go, guys. We're going to go to one more guy, and we'll hit 2 really quick ones. Paul Reed. B-ball Paul, guys, in this game. Let's see what he did in this game. Paul Reed, guys, finished with... Where is Paul Reed? There he is. 4 points, 2 of 4 shooting, 0 of 1 from the 3, 7 boards. 1 turnover in 9 minutes. That's why I'm laughing. Sorry. 7 boards in 9 minutes is just stupid, bro. He does this all the time. I love Paul Reed, in the words of Greg Koser. I love Paul Reed. Shout out to Greg Koser, Special K. I love Paul Reed. There hasn't been many games this year where he's been a disappointment. I can maybe count on one hand how many games where I left the game feeling like he was underwhelming tonight. He is a lot like Diabate as far as his energy and his effort. He's just better offensively than Diabate. Right? That's the difference. You got our third guy, I would say, is as good as their starter. I would venture to say Paul Reed is as good as Diabate, if not better. He's better. Paul Reed is better than Diabate, and he's their first. And he's our third. That's that depth again. That's that again. Isn't that crazy, though? It's crazy to say that, right? But that's what Paul Reed is. As talented as he is, he doesn't allow his talent to get in the way of his effort. He plays like Diabate in the fact that it's almost like he plays like that's the only way he's going to be able to survive. He'd be able to still play in the NBA, in my opinion, mostly off his offensive skill set. If the offense was created more around Paul Reed and if he had more touches in the post, I think he could be a guy who could still be in the NBA based off of his offensive output. But when he's that good and skilled offensively with either hand, like he is, a lot like Stu, finishing around the rim with either hand, right, with ease, and he plays like Diabate, as if he has to play that way defensively to stay in the court. Not a lot of guys. We have so many guys who just fit what we need, man. That's why this team wins so much, because all these guys have bought in. They've all bought in. That's a special thing. You don't always see that with talented teams. I think about Cleveland, who for some reason wants to taunt us right now and troll us right now. All year Cleveland has done that. They've said things about us that seem to want to try to tick us off. They said early this year that they feel like they're a class above us when they're like 4th or 5th in the standings. And recently they said publicly they're trying to play the standings and they'd rather play Boston than Detroit in the first round. Like this, why? But my point, I don't know why they're doing that. Especially since they got 2 twigs of big men. You want to taunt and troll JD and Stu and Paul Reed with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley? They about to get, if we play them, they're gonna be all beat up. But my point is that they are a very talented team. They have a lot of talent on that team, right? I think even Jared Allen is an all-star. D. Mitch, all-star. James Harden in year 400, all-star. Evan Mobley, all-star. Guys like Max Strus who can score the basketball. Like they got a lot of talent. Schroeder over there, all-star, right? But they don't have an identity. Based on their talent, they are underperforming. They should be better than they are with the talent they had in that team. But when you let guys like JB Biggerstaff go, who gave you an identity, and now you're more of an offensive team, you're just adding guys who don't even really fit anymore, like James Harden, who doesn't play any defense, right? Who makes Duncan Robinson look like Kawhi Leonard. You got a lot of talent, but it's just kind of like just a mashup of just stuff. I'm not saying not a good team, but they don't have an identity the way that we do now. And a big part of it is because of coach, but it's also personnel. It's a big difference. So yeah, I say that to say that's why I think this Pistons team is so good. Not the most talented in the world. We got a ton of talent. We're deep. But like star power, no, we're not that team. We just all have bought in to playing exactly the way we need to be peak Pistons, to be as good as we can be. Everybody's bought in, and that's the key. It's a very important thing come playoff time, man. So Paul Reed fits that. He fits that. He had a nice few plays, like nice little baseline midi he hit. Nice contest without fouling on Kobe White on the switch at the rim, right? Kobe White's a good player, really good offensive player, very polished, just good. Played him straight up. Had to guard him on the island. He made his move to the hoop. He didn't block him, but he didn't foul him. Forced a tough shot, a shot that Kobe usually makes. Good defense. So once again, 2-way play. Paul Reed, man, great. And he signed through next year, so we have him at least till next year. So yeah, I love Paul Reed, man. I love what he brings. I love Paul Reed. Right. That's funny. You think Philly doesn't miss B-ball, Paul? Yeah, for sure. Shoot, even Tobias Harris right now. It's crazy. I take PB over the about. Yeah, okay, so we agree. Hope we can keep him. He's a true Detroit Piston. I agree. 100%. Cleveland is another team that likes to jack up. Yeah, they are. Not going to win the playoffs. The report was Cleveland wanted Detroit instead of Boston. Same thing. Right, yep. Wanted Boston in the second round, so they wanted 4th. Exactly. That's gonna bite them in the butt. I mean, they're probably gonna lose regardless because they're not as good as Boston or us. But to say that publicly, like, what are you doing? Why? Our quick exit last year made us hungry. Yes, it did. The Pistons are mad. They're still mad about last year versus Knicks. Believe that. Believe that. They're still mad about that. My bad. Diabate came the next year after. Okay, cool. He went to U of M. Is the point, and that's dope. I did not know that. Guys, quickly, Chaz Lanier and Marcus Sasser. Neither of those guys played a lot. We're just gonna quickly talk about them since they did play. Chaz played 1 minute, no points, and nothing else. 1 minute, just some cardio, quick cardio. Sas, same thing. 2 minutes, 0 for 1, only shot was a 3, 1 assist, and a steal. 1 assist and a steal. Cool. In 2 minutes and no turnovers. Okay, cool. Cool, right? So nothing really to say there. Incomplete. What else? Okay, guys, that's all I got for the game as far as the box scores. Let's now briefly, we're about 2 hours in now. Let's briefly look at the upcoming schedule for the Pistons. All right, so guys, as you guys know, not much to really say here. One more game left on the season. What a time we have had. Time flies and you were having fun, and we have had a ton of it this year as Pistons fans watching this team, man, right? It's been a fun year. And here we are at the last game of this season. That's why I was saying all year, guys, it's going to go quick. So live in the moment. Don't always complain. Enjoy it, right? Enjoy it. This doesn't happen every year. Enjoy it. This is why. This is the time right now. This is the time right now to enjoy going into the playoffs before we get there, being able to enjoy these last few games that don't matter, being able to scout other teams and see who we might play, not worried about, are we going to be a play-in team? Where are we going to be? We know we're going to be in the playoffs. We're top seed. We have home court all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. This is a fun time to be a Pistons fan. We get to sit back and enjoy what we're doing, what we've done, and what may come. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So, guys, the Pistons play the Pacers in Indiana at 6 this coming Sunday, and they will be off for about a week after that while the play-in shakes out before the playoffs start, guys. And I mentioned this possibility a few days ago, but Sunday, guys, the Pistons have a chance now, right? They have a chance now to make even more history and accomplish something that hasn't been done before, right? We talked about 59-23. That's great. First time in about 18 years that's happened, 59 wins. With a win Sunday, right? And it's not just the 60 games, but they can become the first team in NBA history to win 60 games after only winning 14 games or less 2 years prior. They can be the first team ever to go from 14 wins to 2 years later, 60 wins. Nobody in the history of the game, no other team in the history of the game has ever done that. So when we say that this team is doing things that we have not seen before, when you hear me and Boss say, enjoy this, don't take it for granted, Golden State with Steph Curry. Don't take it for granted, Detroit Pistons fans with Ausar Thompson defensively. Don't take this season for granted, Pistons fans, because this does not happen every day. This is rare. This is a rare run that the Pistons are on, and they're nowhere near complete. Nowhere near complete individually as players and as a team. We are nowhere near complete. This is a fun time. That's why I'm saying enjoy. I've been watching Pistons basketball for 35 years. This kind of change, this kind of swift flip, I've never seen anything close to this before. Ever. And I probably won't again in my lifetime because hopefully we're good enough for long enough to where we're not bad again. You know what I mean? But yeah, just enjoy this, guys. Enjoy this time. And it's a lot of fun right now. So, guys, that's on the table. That's on the table. So it's not the end all be all, 60 games. We understand that, right? We want to take it further to the playoffs. We want to do some damage in the playoffs. But it's still a big accomplishment. It's really fun to be part of this right now. So with the Pistons playing the Pacers, who are at the bottom of the East, I think 14th out of 15th, Pistons got a great chance of doing that. They got a great chance of getting 60 wins on the nose. And like I said, my dog King was the only person who I heard say that they would get that. So shout out to him. I'm gonna let him gloat a little bit on the show when they come on next week, and we're gonna get into that as well. Lastly, guys, last thing of the night, and then we are going to call it a night. This past Wednesday, guys, the Pistons, they hosted their annual fan appreciation night when they hosted the Milwaukee Bucks for their last regular season game at home. And guys, they invited me and wifey out. So I talked about it a little bit when I got back home from the game when Boss was holding it down, but I was able to put together a quick little reel a short for you guys to kind of get a deeper look at what happened. So go ahead and check it out. Last night, the Detroit Pistons invited me out for the season home finale on Fan Appreciation Night. And man, a time was had. I'm talking great food, amazing creators, and immaculate vibes. The city of Detroit has so much talent in this space, and it's always good to link up with my Pistons family and connect. When it comes to fan experience, the Pistons are second to none. And before tip-off, Jalen Duren had to get us right. The Pistons dominated off rip, Wifey showed off some drip, and even our national champion Michigan Wolverines pulled up. And of course, play that song. Last but not least, the Pistons graced me with some top-shelf Pistons gear to end the night. I'm talking a customized jacket, an incredible autographed Ausar Thompson plaque, and some limited edition Detroit Pistons fitteds to top it off. This was definitely a night to remember. Shout out to the Pistons, man. Fan appreciation night. Pistons got a dub. Cade Cunningham returned. Isaiah Stewart returned. They don't get no better than that. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons, man, on fan appreciation night. We appreciate y'all, man. Let's go. Playoffs on the way. Let's get it. Shout out to the Pistons, man. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons, man. The entire social team. My guy Tamar. Shout out to you, bro. Tiana, Liv, Marissa, everybody, man, who made it possible for me to come down and be part of that event. That was a lot of fun, man. Their fan experience is second to none. It was incredible, man. So I'm thankful I got a chance to go out there, man. I want to shout out everybody who was actually there as well. My man PL Official, my guy who been doing Pistons anthems, a big part of my inspiration for doing what I do now as far as the anthem, right? I saw him coming up and doing this thing for years. He was in the video. Shout out to him, man. Also Philip Pistons, who was there. My dog Easy, who was there. Brian, who was there. Chris, shout out to Chris. Anybody who I missed, man. It was nice just getting a chance to link up with everybody. And just, we got a lot of talent, man. A lot of talent in Detroit in the space. So it was just nice to be able to see everybody in the network, and we're going to try to put some things together in the future. So major love, major thanks to the Pistons and Pistons creators and everybody who I saw, man. Major love to everybody who just came up and said, what's up? You recognize me and say, hey, what's going on, Deuce? All y'all, man. I appreciate you guys for sure. So that's all we got, guys, man. Let's see any final comments. I need a sweatshirt. yeah. Had to get wifey right. You know what I'm saying? Had to get it right for sure. She wanted to come. Had to bring her. She was my photographer, but my biggest supporter. Period. Like she's incredible. I got lucky, man. Very nice gear. Appreciate you, bro. Sweet Pistons have stepped all the way. Yes, they have. Yes, they have, man. So appreciate you guys' support, man. I thought I'd just show you guys that, you guys been rocking with me for sure. Like since I was just getting involved in this space and just getting started when I had like 5-10 subscribers. Some of you guys have been here, like Dom, like a lot of you guys here from the beginning. So I want to just put that together for you guys to show you guys a little sneak peek and behind the scenes look at what it looked like for sure. But the jacket has my name on it, bro. It says Deuce. It was they actually did it while I was there. They had a little sheet for us to fill out. Like, you want a jacket? Like, yeah. You want a customized jacket? Yeah, for sure. All right. Write your name down. Put what you want. About an hour later, it came back with this huge gift bag with the embroidery and everything already done. It was crazy. Like, how'd y'all do that fast? Like, it was crazy. Crazy, bro. But yeah, man, it was fun. A lot of fun. Can you feel the elevation? You know what it is. All right, guys. All right, man. Yes, bro. Yes, a wife is a blessing for sure, especially when you have one that supports you. Yeah. Like I do. So if you have that in your life, you are blessed, like I am. And if you don't, I hope at some point you get it if you want it, because it is a blessing for sure. So, all right, guys. Listen, man, I appreciate you guys for hanging with me tonight. Showing up and showing out as you guys always do. Boss will return on Sunday for the game, for post game against the Pacers. Shout out to her for holding it down last game. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new, man. Enjoy your weekend, right? Enjoy the beginning of your weekend, man. It is finally officially TGIF, so make sure you guys have fun. Make sure you guys get some rest if you are working this weekend. If you're going out, make sure you guys are safe. No drinking and driving. Be safe. Seatbelts on. Click it or ticket. Y'all know what it is. All that stuff, man. Everybody just be careful and have fun this weekend, man. Looking forward to seeing you guys Sunday post game, and hopefully I'll see you guys at the Autism Walk as well on Sunday from 12 to 3. I will be there in attendance with my wife. My 2 boys will be there as well, so you guys get a chance to meet us, and I'll be able to get a chance to meet you guys, shake you guys' hands, all that stuff, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys are going to show up. If not, I always appreciate you being here supporting anyway. That's the biggest thing for me is your support, and you guys continue to show that. So have a great night, guys, and y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace and love. See y'all Sunday.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of K9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking hundreds, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Tryna tell ya, look at dog palm, mess around, find out, Tryna tell ya, look at dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that.